Hello, my name is Kim and welcome to your August 2026 reading, where I will be offering you an overview of the month as well as a look at the main themes and lessons of the month of August. I will also be giving you a sneak peek into what to look out for and what you can look forward to this month of August. Now, before I give you a closer look at the options, I do want to remind you that this is a general reading. So throughout the reading, please use your discernment and only take and consider the messages that do resonate with you and or apply to any current situation that you are dealing with and are experiencing. Also, please do remember that energy is flexible and it is malleable, hence it can change and transform at any given moment. Therefore, not every message that comes through in the readings will be set in stone. You do have the power to change outcomes with your actions, decisions, and even ways of thinking. Okay, but with that being said, let us now take a closer look at the options. So there are 4 different groups to choose from, each represented by a different deck. So for group 1, we have the Dreaming Ways Tarot deck. And this is the backing or the back cover of it. For group 2 is the Wildwood Tarot deck. And here's a closer look of the backing. Group 3 is the Green Menagerie Tarot deck. Group 4 is the Edmund Dulac deck. Please take a moment to meditate on the options, and whichever option you are drawn to the most, then that will be the group that will have the messages meant for you. If you happen to be drawn to more than one option, more than one group, that is perfectly fine. That may simply be because there are messages meant for you in more than one group. So if you feel called to do so, if you have the time, then you can tune into more than one reading. Okay? And once you have selected, or if you have selected, please head on over to either the pinned comment in the comment section down below or the description box to find the timestamps that will allow you to skip ahead to your selected group. Okay, and if you are ready, then let us get started. Let's go. Hello, if you were drawn to the Dreaming Way Tarot, bienvenidos to your reading. So before we get started, I would like to give you guys a heads up that there will be background noise. I do have a mini fan running because it's super hot where I live. We are currently experiencing a heat wave and I don't think it's going away anytime soon. So I'm doing all that I can to keep from melting since I do not have air conditioning in my space. Yeah, so if at any point you hear like a weird churning, whirring sound, it's my mini fan. Okay, but let us get started. So when meditating on the energy of this group, 2 messages came to mind, which were make the call and we are working on it. I also did feel a little impatient. No, I felt a lot impatient actually. I just wanted to get started with the reading. So I wonder if some of you are currently feeling a bit antsy, impatient, or restless. If not, that could be how you might be feeling at some point in the month of August, especially if you are currently developing certain plans, because it's in the month of August in which you will be executing these plans, or where you will feel this need to start executing these plans, start taking the first steps, or an opportunity to do so might present itself to you. Now, the message make the call kind of felt or seemed like a suggestion to make a call. So if there is any kind of call that you need to make and you've kind of been holding back on making it for whatever reason, you know, this message could be coming from your spirit team, your spirit guides, or your higher self, maybe your future self, if you believe in being able to tap into a future version of yourself, to make that call this month of August, to not postpone it any longer. Or this is just a heads up that you will be making this call in the month of August. make the call, so just made me think of taking action. So overall, I get the feeling that this month of August, you will be pretty busy, or if you do end up feeling restless, it's because you will have the energy, the motivation to get stuff done, to get started, to get moving. Yeah, especially because the message "we are working on it" came to mind. So yeah, a lot of you could definitely be working on a project this month, or if you are in some kind of process, right, which a lot of people are involved in, or where you do need the approval of more than one individual, then it seems like you're being let known that whoever needs to work on their side of the project, whoever needs to get some stuff done so that you can move forward, or so that a project could advance to the next level, is currently working on their task, or they will be working on their task or a case, is what I heard, in the month of August. So it's in this month that you might be seeing some progress, or if not, there could be a lot of pressure to get stuff done, right? So someone could be pressuring another to get moving, or to move a little faster, or just in general, there might be a lot of pressure to move things along. Yeah, so decisions might need to be made this month, like final decisions, executive decisions, or someone, maybe you, will be taking necessary steps to create some kind of forward movement. For example, like following up with somebody else who you haven't heard back from yet, or, making calls, that sort of thing. But that is what is coming through so far. So now I'm going to start working with Oracle decks to get an overview of the month, as well as find the main themes and lessons of August. And I will be working with this tarot deck later in the reading. Okay, so let us get started with the Oracle decks. This is the Oracle of the Radiant Sun deck, by the way. And all the names of the decks will be listed in the description box. They are always listed in the description box, in case you're interested. Let's see. For group 1, we have the 10th house with Jupiter in Capricorn and the key term control. I was about to say Mars. I don't know why. I felt compelled to say Mars when I knew the symbol was that of the planet Jupiter. So the planet Mars could be significant. It is a planet of action and passion, which is what I'm picking up on a lot of from this group, from this specific reading. So I do get the feeling that this month you will be very action oriented, or if not that, this is a month in which you might find yourself feeling a little bit frustrated by the lack of movement, the lack of action coming from others. Others might not be moving at the pace that you would like, or at times you might feel like you need to slow down so that others could keep up with you, and that might end up frustrating you. It might, right? Because I cannot speak for you, but I do see this situation where like someone does want for something to move a little bit faster, and so they're kind of pushing for that or hoping for it. But the planet of Jupiter is the planet of expansion and growth. And then seeing that we have the 10th house here, which is the house of career, social status, life direction, profession, achievements, you might be wanting to level up this month, or there might be a desire to level up or make big moves in your career, for example, or even money moves. For those of you who are business owners or are entrepreneurs, you may be wanting to expand a business this month, or try a new business ventures, also what is coming through. But let me pull out the rest of the cards. Oh, by the way, someone here could be a Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising sign. I say someone because either you could be a Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising sign, or someone who will be playing a significant role in your life this month may be a Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising sign, or could have Jupiter in Capricorn. Ooh, looking at this Ouroboros, it made me think of a cycle. So what came to mind is this month, there could be an opportunity to break a cycle or come out of a pattern. Or I'm also thinking of deadlines. A deadline may be soon approaching. Maybe something is coming to an end this month, or this is the month in which an opportunity to bring something to an end will present itself. I thought of contract, so a contract may be coming to an end, or there might be an opportunity to terminate a contract, or maybe renew a contract. But I do sense that someone could be feeling a little bit antsy because they feel that something is soon approaching, like an opportunity to redo something, like renew a contract, or to do something differently, or to break a cycle or come out of a pattern, or step into some kind of new beginning possibly. And so because of that, they're feeling a little bit restless or impatient, or because of that, they are starting to make plans for the future, for whatever is next. So for example, if someone realizes that a contract is going to come to an end, or that this is the month in which they will be finishing or completing a project, they could already be preparing or planning the next project they're going to take on. Or they could be looking into, the next deal they're going to make, or where they're going to work next, something along those lines. So that could be you this month. We also have catching lightning bugs with number 21, and the key phrases or keywords: happiness, everyday magic, childhood, simple pleasures, wonder, and secret wish. I did notice that this card fell out on the reversal, so that's how I'm going to interpret it. Also, what is coming through is someone could be kind of anxiously awaiting somebody else's response, what somebody else's next move will be. I thought of a specific situation, so if this is not your situation, then please discard it. But what came through is someone here could be waiting to see if another will be renewing a contract with them, or extending a contract, or an agreement. We also have balanced with level-headed, thoughtful, the number 74, and the message: you're finding more and more balance in life. You are understanding how to use thought rationally without drama needed. This sane thought process is leaving you balance in daily activities. Continue this confidence and positivity so other balance energies can seek you out. Okay, the word balance made me think of the zodiac sign Libra. So the zodiac sign Libra could be of significance, or Libra season. Okay, and we have the moon, which fell out in the reversal. So that's how I'm going to interpret it. And for the last card of this set, two cards fell out together, and it's the King of Clubs, number 50, the Bear, and the Five of Hearts, number 2, the Moon again. Wow. But this time it showed up in the upright. Interesting. And I will say, I don't remember whether the balanced card fell out in the reversal or in the upright. So I'm going to keep that in mind, that I don't remember how it fell out. But let's see. So because the moon showed up twice, once in the reversal and another in the upright, this lets me know that there will be clarity at some point in the month of August. So if right now something is up in the air, like someone hasn't made a decision, or there's some kind of mystery, right? Mystery around what someone will decide upon, or what someone's intentions are, or like what is going on, maybe what is happening behind the scenes. Know that within the month of August, you will gain clarity about this, right? So the truth will come out, there will be answers, or I heard honesty. Right? There could be a heart-to-heart, because we have two hearts here in the balanced card. There could be a heart-to-heart conversation within this month where you will get the opportunity to speak openly and honestly with someone who maybe at this moment you are not on speaking terms with, or you haven't had an opportunity to sit down with them to have a heart to heart with, or to lay out all of your cards on the table. Yeah, because seeing that this seesaw is balanced, like both of these hearts are on the same level, it makes me think of you and another either seeing eye to eye on a situation, or being like honest with each other. Again, like each one of you laying your cards on the table, not hiding anything from each other. And that allowing that in itself, that honesty, maybe vulnerability, allowing for clarity. Though with the King of Clubs, I immediately saw the swords when looking at this card, and it made me think of a defensive energy. So although I do see a heart-to-heart or a like one-on-one interaction with someone who maybe you have been wanting to talk with, there could still be some defensiveness. So if, for example, someone has been on the defensive and that hasn't allowed for there to be a heart-to-heart or for there to be open communication, then I do still see some defensiveness coming from that person, or coming from more than one person. But this defensiveness is coming more so as a form of protection, not as a way to shut another person out or others out. So I think this is a bit of a heads up for some of you, that if someone is not immediately open and honest with you, revealing every one of their secrets or intentions, it's not because their intention is to hide things from you, but rather it's their way of being cautious. It's their way of kind of like testing waters and maintaining their boundaries, because that's what that feels like with the bear here. But, at times this might be interpreted as, oh, the person is being defensive, right? They're not sharing everything right off the bat because they're being defensive. That's how it could come off at some point. But I feel like, again, this is more them doing whatever they can on their end to protect themselves and to maintain caution. Because I feel like if you give this person some time, or if you give this some time, then they will start opening up. That is, if they feel safe to do so, right? And this could be your energy as well, right? Where you might find yourself opening up little by little as time passes, and you start feeling more and more comfortable with someone, or you start feeling like, okay, it's okay. It's okay to open up and, start putting my defenses down a little bit. Yeah, so I heard there might be some working out, like needing to work it out with another. Oh, and this reminded me of the expression that came through at the beginning, we are working on it. So if you and another have trouble communicating with each other, or maybe you struggle with opening up, then this month there's kind of an insinuation, or kind of a heads up, that someone is working on getting comfortable with being vulnerable, or two people are working on like finding a middle ground to be able to talk amicably with each other, or they're working on their communication skills, maybe working on their relationship, or just working on finding some kind of middle ground. The bear makes me think of instincts. So this month, I keep thinking of somebody else. I don't know why. This is your reading about what's in store this month of August for you, but I keep thinking of somebody else, like another energy. So I wonder if this month you might be interacting a lot with one person in specific, or there just might be a lot of interactions with people. But I do get the feeling with the bear that this month someone will be mostly relying on their instincts. They might also be acting based on their instincts, possibly their intuition, because the moon often indicates intuition, can also sometimes indicate psychic abilities. So, this could definitely be you this month, where if something feels a little off, or all of a sudden you feel the need to pause, to slow down, to maybe keep quiet, not say too much, if you're following those nudges, you're listening to them. Yeah, and I think there is an advice to kind of listen to your inner guidance, your intuition this month, because with the moon here again showing up twice, although I do see there being clarity at some point in the month of August, I also feel like at some point within this month, not everything might be as it seems. So it's during that time where I feel like you're being advised to listen to your intuition. I also sense with the moon showing up in the reversal that there is a heads up to not get carried away by the heat of the moment. The moon in the reversal makes me think of emotional reactivity. So emotions could be running high at some point, and you're being given a heads up about that so that when emotions do run high, you remember to ground and to center, so that whatever decisions you make, whatever action you take will be coming from a more rational or level-headed space and not coming from emotional reactivity or reactivity. Yeah, because the person in the control card, which by the way is Zeus, feels very zen, right? And control makes me think of like regulating your emotions, someone who is regulating their emotions. So I feel like that's the encouragement for this month. Because as mentioned already, emotions could be running high at some point. And if it's not emotions, it could be like restlessness, right? Because I was picking up on a lot of that at the start of this reading. You could be feeling restless, or maybe someone in your surroundings could be very restless, and that restlessness could end up rubbing off on you, or if not careful, it could end up pushing your buttons, ruffling your feathers. So if things like meditating or just taking a moment to breathe in and breathe out helps with regulating your emotions or managing your temper or just grounding yourself, that is something that you might be doing, putting into practice this month, because I do see this need to be centered, to be level-headed. I especially get that with the seesaw and the balance card. And it could be because, as mentioned before, this is a month in which you might need to make very important decisions. Or your actions. I mean, your actions always matter, but this is a month in which your actions could be playing a very significant role. They could be determining something. So you are being advised to check in with yourself and keep calm, not make rash decisions, ground. I'm noticing that Zeus has his feet on Earth, on the globe, which makes me think of grounding, to be better able to listen to your intuition and also your body to connect with your instincts. Because as mentioned before, at some point you might be relying a lot on that, your instincts and your intuition to guide you. Because not everything might be as it seems, or there might be a lot of mystery, right? Not all the information that you might need or that could end up being very helpful to you could be available at that time. Now, I will say the word control made me think of someone wanting to control a situation, but them seeing that that is not being made possible, or that they might need to, I heard succumb, interesting choice of word, but they might need to surrender something that they want. They might need to compromise, is the word I was looking for, in order to reach some kind of agreement with another, or to move something along or make something happen. Yeah, and they might not be very happy with it, but they're starting to realize that some compromising is needed. Or they're starting to realize that they cannot control the whole situation, because maybe the whole situation is not theirs to control. And I know that's a message not everybody likes to hear, but based on the cards, this is the situation I'm seeing, where someone in this situation is realizing that they do need to be flexible in a way. They have to kind of loosen hold of control, because being super controlling, not being flexible, is what is keeping a situation stuck, or is what is keeping them stuck, is what is not allowing for something to move along. This control energy makes me think of someone who is not wanting to negotiate. They are not wanting to talk things out. They are simply wanting to do things their way. It's my way or the highway. But I think it's in the month of August, they're coming to realize that this approach is what hasn't been allowing for something to move along, or for them to move along in a specific area of life, perhaps. And so with the balance card, I feel like this energy, like this person who hasn't been flexible, is starting to become open to negotiating, is starting to maybe look from another another's perspective, point of view, and that is allowing for some agreement to be reached, some deal, or for them to find a middle ground with another, or just move things along. But I do feel like someone might need to let go of maybe this need to control, or they might need to let go of a vision. But what I mean by that is they might need to alter it, right? So it's making me think of when someone is remodeling. No, is it remodeling? Yes, remodeling a space, and they have this vision of how this space is going to look, right? And they're adamant on making this space look this way. But then once they start tearing down the walls and getting into the details of the whole reconstruction, they realize that there's things getting in the way, right? There's a plumbing getting in the way. There's the foundations of the house that are getting in the way, because if we tear down this pillar that the person didn't want there, then it will bring the whole roof down. And so now this person has to start thinking about, okay, well, how can I edit my vision so that I can make it happen, knowing what I know now, knowing that I cannot move that pillar, right? Because if I do, it's going to bring the whole roof down, and I don't want that. So that's kind of the vibe that I'm picking up here. But I do want to clarify, this is not about surrendering your dreams. Again, this is not about giving in. It's more about negotiating, right? Being flexible enough to negotiate, to adjust, to work with what you have, work with what is coming up in the moment, so that then you can move forward, so that you can still keep creating. So again, it's about being flexible. It's about not completely sacrificing a vision, but keeping in mind that some things do change, right? Because this king of clubs is making me think of someone who might at times be standing firm in their decision, or putting up a good fight to get what they want. So I don't see this being an energy or an advice to give in to other people's requests and or demands, or to not fight for what you want. If there's an opportunity to fight for what you want, it's more of, if negotiating is the best way to go, then be open to that. That's the advice. Be open to that. Be flexible. But this is what is coming through. So now I'm going to start working with El Tarot to first find out what is something to look out for this month, and then we will look at what is something to look forward to. So what is something to look out for? We have the Four of Cups in the reversal. Is it in frame? Okay, and what is something to look forward to? Wow, the Four of Swords, so 2 number 4s. The number 4 could be of significance. You may be a life path number 4, or someone who you are dealing with this month could be a life path number 4, or born on the 4th month of the year. But the number 4 indicates stability, security. It's a number that also often indicates grounding. So the Four of Cups in the reversal is indicating that this month there will be an opportunity to end stagnation, or once again to move things along. I don't know if this is the situation for every single one of you who are resonating with these messages so far, but I get the feeling that someone could be hesitating on making a decision, on choosing something, because they worry that they might regret their decision later on. They worry that they might end up choosing the wrong thing and then regretting it. But I feel like it's this fear of choosing the wrong thing, making the wrong decision, that is keeping them stuck, that is not allowing for things to move along. And that makes a little sense, because the moon showed up twice, which again can represent mystery. The moon can also at times represent anxious feelings or anxiety. Okay, I think this card is here to say most decisions that are made in life are made with the understanding that there isn't a 100% guarantee of anything, right? That there is some unknowns, right? Things might end up moving in a whole new direction. And so when making decisions, there's always some kind of risk. Of course, we want to minimize the risk as much as possible, But if you have already been working on that, if you have been like weighing out your pros and cons, if you have been thinking about like alternative options, if you have been going at this, working this out, like I thought of a problem, like working out a problem for a really long time, then consider that you've done as much as you could have done with the information that you have. Because I feel like this Four of Cups is saying someone might end up making a decision and still end up feeling, not 100% certain about how things might turn out or work out in actuality. There could be an ideal, there could be like hopes of how things turn out, but how it will turn out, there's still some mystery around that. So you're kind of being given a heads up about that, heads up about focusing too much on whether you will regret something or not, because that might end up holding you back a lot. At times it could be helpful considering, okay, well, is this something that if I choose, I would end up regretting along the way? Because then it could help you make a decision if the answer is yes. But if it's something that that is constantly on your mind and is creating a lot of fear around every option, then it's not really helping, right? It's just making you feel maybe powerless, or it's causing you to feel stuck. That is a possibility, right? Because again, with the Four of Cups, I do see an opportunity this month to move things along, to choose. And this is going to sound strange, this second advice or suggestion that is coming through, because it's kind of the opposite of what I just conveyed, which is be careful of impulses this month, because I feel like someone could end up just choosing something, just making a decision in the moment simply to move things along, simply because they might fear missing out on an opportunity, right? So it's okay to think things through. It's okay to maybe go within, to maybe consult with your intuition, to maybe connect with your instincts, to feel or sense what option is the best for you. There's nothing wrong with that. What was mentioned previously was more of be careful with getting stuck on the whole pondering over the options, not as a way to discern over what is for you, what you want or not, but rather as a form of delaying making a decision. But you're also being advised to not impulsively choose something without really considering it, because there is kind of a possibility for that. I see like someone rushing into something, and in that situation, it is being advised to take your time to consider your options, and maybe even consider alternative options as well. Because we do have like 3 cups here that this person is considering, and then 1 cup here that is floating, right? And this option could be a much better option than the ones that this person has been considering. So there's no need to rush, I feel, but there's also no need to procrastinate. It's interesting. I feel like it's like a double thing. Like sometimes we feel like we can control a situation by procrastinating, by holding off on making a decision. Other times we can feel like we're controlling a situation by being impulsive, right? By deciding right then and there. All of a sudden I thought of like an item, like, okay, I don't know if I want it yet, but let me grab it first. Let me grab it and hold on to it. And while I have it, I will consider whether I want it or not, right? Or I'll purchase it first and then I'll consider whether I want it or not. But then we have to make sure whether we can return that item, because what if we don't want it and then we can't return it? We're stuck with it, right? So like sometimes we feel this need to control, to grab onto things, not let go of them, because we believe that's the best way that we can control outcomes of our situation. Or it could be the opposite. We delay from making a decision, from choosing anything, because that's our way of maybe, I thought of like maybe pausing time, not letting for things to unfold. But at the end of the day, it's like a false sense of control. At least that's how it's coming through, because time is still moving, right? If we believe that by us not choosing, we are stopping time, that's not true, because time will move and continue. And then by taking without a second thought or consideration, we're not really securing anything. We're just accumulating things, maybe responsibilities, maybe burdens that we might later not want. So if it's possible to think some things through, weigh out your pros and cons, then that's what is being suggested. But if you've done a lot of that, if you've done so much of that, then maybe now is the time to make a decision, even if there isn't 100% certainty, because I'm not sure if there ever is a 100% certainty of anything. Some things we just figure out along the way. Some adventures, some decisions do require a little bit of risk. But now I'm going to move on to what to look forward to, and we have the Four of Swords. This card often indicates rest. It's also a card that shows up when hinting at a recovery or a moment of reprieve. It's also a card that represents meditation or introspection. At some point in the month of August, you will get an opportunity to rest or take a break from a problem, from an issue. But I do see your mind, because swords represent the mental realm, your mind taking a rest or a break from thinking a lot or from trying to solve a problem or dealing with an issue. All of a sudden, I thought of like someone who was working a lot, someone who was thinking a lot while they were making preparations to kickstart something. But then as soon as they kickstart that thing, then they can kind of take a break, because now they just need to allow for whatever they kickstarted to do its own thing. Like, they don't need to get involved as much. What's a better example? It's like rolling a ball down a hill. Like, maybe, okay, the working had to be the whole getting up the hill with the ball. But then once you're at the top of the hill and you release the ball, you don't have to do much. You just have to let the ball do its own thing. You know, momentum, gravity, velocity does its own thing, and the ball just rolls. And while the ball is rolling down the hill, you get to relax. All right, so I feel like this Four of Swords could be representing that for some of you. Like, by some point in the month of August, you will get an opportunity to take a break, because whatever you needed to do, right, whatever you needed to get done, you would have gotten it done and out of the way, and now you can just sit back, right, and let whatever or whoever else do their part. The Four of Swords also makes me think of possibly reaching an agreement with another, and the expression case closed came to mind. So that could be a situation where you will finally be able to close a case this month, or just, you know, reach some kind of agreement or settlement with somebody else. Or you could be taking a break from, I heard, confiding in another, or just having this back to back with another. I thought of planning. You could be planning something, making plans with somebody, and, you know, planning, talking about these plans could be taking a lot of mental space, could be very tiring. And I feel like at some point in the month of August, you will get an opportunity to take a break from, you know, talking about these plans, planning even more, and so forth. The Four of Swords, because it can indicate introspection, self-reflection, can be a card that is indicating you coming to some kind of understanding with yourself, you maybe gaining clarity after a time of introspection or self-reflection. Right, so if there's been something on your mind, if there's been some kind of inner turmoil, inner conflict, if you can make up your mind about something because you keep going back and forth on whether you want it or not, whether it's the best for you or not, or maybe your feelings, how you feel about the situation, I feel like some kind of inner turmoil, inner war, inner struggle that is making it difficult for someone here to make a final decision. And if that resonates with you, I feel like this Four of Swords is representing peace within the self. So I feel like at some point this month, you could be taking some time to just go within, to really self-reflect without the pressure of needing to figure something out, or just the time that you will take to maybe be with yourself, be honest with yourself, will bear you positive results, because I feel like after this, you will have come to some agreement with yourself. It's like the different parts of you that were battling it out, clashing with each other, they will come to some kind of mutual agreement. There will be peace. You will feel at peace with the decision, or you would have made up your mind about something. Or if this is about there being some inner confusion, you will have gained clarity. That's what the Four of Swords, I feel, is indicating for a lot of you guys. So this balance card could also be indicating that maybe at the start of the month, there's a lack of balance. Maybe in your life or within, you feel unbalanced at the start of the month. And if that is the case, I feel like by the end of the month, you will have regained your balance, your inner balance. You will feel more at ease, at peace with yourself, or at peace with a decision or with how something is unfolding in your life. And because I spoke of rest, there could some point in the month of August where you will find yourself very busy. Or there could be a lot on your mind. You might find yourself occupied by your own thoughts. And if so, you might find yourself spending more time on a specific area of life than others. And that's where you might be experiencing some imbalance in your life. But I feel like by the end of the month, you would have regained, or you would be working on regaining the balance in your life once more. But now I want to draw out an extra oracle card to get any last messages, advice, and or guidance. Okay, so we have love with Venus and the key phrase laying stepping stones by hand. Love does not have to be instant. It can be cultivated. The stepping stones to get there are appreciation, trust, forgiveness, communication, tolerance, and gentleness. Connect with a part of yourself that is open-hearted and ready to embrace all life has to offer. Yeah, that's what I was picking up on the beginning, that someone could be working on their tolerance this month. Or maybe someone who is intolerant could be a little bit more tolerant this month. Could be a little bit more understanding, more patient, less reactive. The message love does not have to be instant also made me think of like whatever you want to create, whatever you want to see, whatever you want to experience. You're being let know that if it isn't instant, that doesn't mean that it won't happen or that it won't be made real. Some things do take time, right? And some things we learn along the way, some things we figure out along the way or we create along the way, right? So something that I was thinking when I was referring to the Four of Cups is some things do not need 100% certainty. And the example that was coming to mind was a dress. I don't know why, but I kept thinking of a dress. Like, for example, you're trying to look for the perfect dress and you find a dress and then you buy it. Or a suit, right? Or a garment, let's say, and it doesn't end up fitting you the way that you had envisioned, the way that you had hoped. Well, because it's a dress, because it's a garment, you can modify it. You can tailor it. That is a possibility. Not all is lost, right? Do you need to invest a little bit more on it? Maybe a little bit more time, maybe some creativity to make it your dream dress, your dream garment? Yes, but the lovely thing is that the possibility for that is there. So if you're afraid of making the wrong decision, for example, just know that if after deciding something you find that it's not exactly what you envisioned, you can still work with it to make it what you wanted it to be or turn it into something better than what you had envisioned in the beginning. And I feel like these lily pads are kind of like indicating that, like, there's still a lot more to see, but a lot that which has yet to be revealed to you happens after making a decision, happens further along the road. But to get to them, you have to start moving. You have to take those steps. If you remain where you are, you will never get that information. That's another message that is coming through. Some things reveal themselves to us along the way. Right? And I feel like these lily pads are representing possibilities, opportunities. So I feel this is your indicator that there's more possibilities after a decision, or they are representing an opportunity to build upon something, that you can grow something, you can transform it over time. I feel like love is also indicating that love will show the way, or that this month there will be an opportunity to work things out with another, or to maybe better communicate with another, or get another chance to better communicate with someone who maybe in the past you had trouble communicating with. Love also makes me think of being open, like being open to the possibilities, being open to change as well, because change is growth. And if growth is something that you want, then change is something that you have to be, or have to learn to be comfortable with. Yeah, the message, be ready to embrace all life has to offer. Again, it makes me think of being flexible, being open to seeing different options, alternatives, being open to work things out, to negotiate as well. Yes, but this is what is coming through for this month. Anything I want to point out? The phases of the moon could be of significance. The bear made me think of the state of California. It also made me think of the United States of America. So the USA, California could be of significance. Fireflies could be of significance as well. These are all the messages coming through for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought some guidance and clarity. If it did, then please leave a like or a comment. And if you're new to this channel and you wish to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal readings. All the information is in my website. And the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. To all of you who took the time to watch the advertisements or just let them play in the background, thank you so much for that, since that is the simplest way to support me and to support this growing channel. So if you did, I truly do appreciate it. And before I sign off, I want to give a thanks to my spirit team and your spirit guides for assisting me with delivering these messages to you. Thank you so very much, and I'm wishing you and your loved ones a wonderful rest of your day or night, depending on when you are watching. And until the next moment, bye-bye. Hello, if you were drawn to the Wildwood Tarot deck, bienvenidos to your reading. So before we get started, I do want to give you a heads up that there will be background noise. I do have a mini fan on, and it does make a little bit of noise. I apologize for that, but it's very, very hot where I live. We are experiencing a heat wave, and I'm doing all that I can do to keep from melting because I do not have AC in my space. So once again, apologies, but I hope you can understand. Okay, but let us get started. So when meditating on the energy of this group, what I heard in my mind was the following: working my way to the top and making a decision. So in the month of August, and I was about to say the month of September, strange. So the month of September could be of significance. Maybe you were born on that month, or someone who will be playing a significant role will be born, interesting, was born on the month of September. Or maybe if someone is expecting you or someone in your family, then their baby will be born in the month of September. Okay, but I lost my train of thought. What I was going to say is that this month of August, I heard you may be wanting to make a final decision. You could be wanting to choose something or make a choice. Interesting. All of a sudden, the example that came to mind is maybe someone was considering getting two things or maybe purchasing two items, but then this month they've decided, or they will decide, that no, they don't want the two things, or they don't need the two things. And so they'd rather just choose one of the two things, one of the two options. What else is coming through is that this month you may be making a final decision, or you may be deciding that it's the month to give your final verdict. Oh, all of a sudden I thought of someone who maybe purchased something that they knew they could return within a window of time if they didn't like it. And it's in the month of August where their window to decide whether they want to return something or not, get a refund for it, is closing. And so they need to decide, do I want this? Do I want to keep this or not? And this could be a situation where maybe they're deciding between two items, right? Maybe they purchased two items they were going back and forth on, and now this is the month in which they have to decide which item to keep, right? Or whether they want to keep both items. But I feel like if this situation is your situation, that you will end up choosing one of the two instead of keeping the two. At least that's the vibe that I'm picking up on. But again, this could just be an example, a situation some of you could be dealing with. Okay, but anything else? Oh, because the message working my way to the top came to mind, a lot of you could be very career focused this month. Or I thought of a camp. I thought of like a competitive sport or just competition. So some of you may be getting a little competitive this month, or if there's some kind of sports or like friendly competition that you're thinking about participating in this month of August, I see you being very determined about either getting first place, winning, or being one of the top three, right? Making it to the finals, or just getting farther is what I heard in my mind, getting farther, doing better, or getting a better score maybe than the last time. I thought of a decathlon. So it could be anything. It could be something sport related or academia related. But I do see you or someone maybe that you know, someone that you will be interacting with a lot this month, being very competitive or very determined to get a better score or move farther along in the competition than they have before. Interesting. So that's what is coming through so far. I'm going to set this deck aside. Oh, all of a sudden I thought of an interview process. So if it's not about like a competition, this could also be about an interview process. Maybe if you have been applying for jobs this month, you might be getting the opportunity to reapply for a job that you did in the past and you're determined to like get the job this time around. Or this is your indicator that if you did interview for something in the past and you only got to a certain level, this month if you interview again, you will get farther along in the interviewing process. Yeah, or in some kind of process. Okay, but that is what is coming through so far. So I'm going to set this deck aside and I'm now going to work with the oracle cards to get an overview of the month, find out what the main themes and lessons of August will be. I also thought of like a test, an exam. Maybe someone is retaking a test and or exam and they're determined to get a higher or better grade than they did the last time around. They're aiming for a higher score. But we have the third house with Mars in Gemini and the key term decision. Interesting that we have this Mars energy because, oh wait, interesting because the energy of the planet Mars came through in group 1, even though what came out for group 1 was the planet Jupiter. So I wonder if you were also drawn to group 1. But what I was going to say is it's interesting that Mars came through because this planet could deal with competition because Mars is the planet of assertion and drive. Yeah, and that's what I was kind of picking up on, someone being very driven by their motivation to win, to do better, to be on top, to level up, etc. Yeah, so you could be very motivated by your need or desire to excel, to improve, to get a better score, to do better, and so forth. And interesting that we have the word decision because I was talking about that this month you may be making a decision, but I feel more like someone is choosing that this is the month in which they will be making a decision. Like no more going back and forth, no more leaving anybody in anticipation. I'm going to make a decision this month, or this is the month in which I will be announcing to others what I have decided on. But your other card is the Three of Clubs, number 5, and the Tree. By the way, you may be a Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Rising sign, or someone who is playing a significant role in your life could be a Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Rising sign. Or Gemini season could be of significance. Oh, okay. And we have, Sensual with Lust, number 44. Group 1 had the number 4 pop up twice in their spread. So I wonder if you were also drawn to group 1. But we have time to embrace your sensuality. You have all the qualities to do so. Dance, lock eyes with an attractive stranger, try Tantra yoga, dress up for yourself, or engage with your partner in teasing and foreplay. It's time to feel a lust for love and live. Okay. Cherries could be of significance, or the scent of cherries could be of importance. And we have have number 27 with Swamp Angel, and the key terms: nuisance, provocation, gossip, hassle, freeloading, and opportunism. And for the last card, oh, I just noticed we have 2 number 3s in your spread. So 33, 44, the numbers 3 and 4 could be of significance. Oh, okay. And we have Inner Vision and Healer. And the Healer card did come out in the reversal, but I flipped it around. So I'm going to keep that in mind. But let's see. The illustration of the chessboard, it made me think of competitive games and sports, competition. Hence, this month you may actually be participating in a competitive sport or event. I don't know, maybe some of you will literally be joining a chess competition or match. If not, as mentioned before, you may be feeling very competitive this month. There could be someone who might see you as competition, or it could be you who may find in another a worthy competitor or opponent. But if you are not someone who competes against others or sees others as competition, then you may be finding a worthy opponent in your past self. This month, you may use friendly competition or a desire to outdo, surpass your past self as motivation to improve or make progress or keep on going. The illustration in the Swamp Angel card made me think of swatting away or beating the competition, in other words, winning. So if you were indeed hoping to do better in something that you had tried before, it seems that you will. I see you either winning or surpassing, passing a level, or defeating an opponent this month. The Swamp Angel card is also hinting at that you will KO any insecurity, limiting belief, or doubt that had previously gotten in your way of doing your very best. In other words, anything like nerves or pesky thoughts won't be sabotaging you this month. The chessboard also made me think of going back and forth with another, like you making a move and somebody else making a move and then you making a move and so forth. And with Inner Vision, this month you may be finding yourself trying to kind of predict what another will do, what another's next move will be, or what the next face of something will be. The card Central made me think of someone who is being very daring this month, who is maybe taking risks. So because I did speak about moves, you may be making some moves this month, but the moves that you're making could be a little bit risky. Not in a sensual sexual way, but as in they might require some risk. What else I'm seeing is someone's move, someone's actions could be a bit provocative. And again, I don't mean that in a sensual way, but rather as in someone may be trying to provoke a reaction out of another. What else is coming through is someone's move, someone's actions could be insinuating at something. Maybe there could be some flirting going on. Maybe someone is trying to hint at something on a more like sexual nature. But I am sensing more of like someone is trying very hard to get a reaction out of somebody else, or someone is through their own moves trying to get another one to move in a certain way. You know, like in chess, I don't know much about chess actually, but I believe, based on the move that you make, you kind of sometimes can, in a way, force the opponent to make a move that you had already planned, right? To kind of do a play that you were hoping for, right? And that's kind of the vibe I'm getting here. It's like someone here has already envisioned how they want something to work out or to unfold. And to make this unfold in the way that they want, they begin coming up with a strategy. Like, if I do this, then I foresee or I assume based on what I know that this other person will do this, which is exactly what I want them to do. And then if I respond to their move with this move, then I foresee that they will move in this direction, which is exactly where I want them to go. And so I'm going to make these moves because I see that that's how I will get this other person to do exactly what I expect them to do. A bit manipulative, I will say, but that's what I'm picking up so far. And so there could be a lot of strategizing this month. It could be on your end, or it could be on somebody else's end, and you're being given a heads up about that. And the other situation I'm seeing is someone could be giving hints to another that, hey, I kind of want you to respond in this way. Again, I'm thinking of like a flirting scenario where someone doesn't outright tell another, I'm interested in you, but they rather give hints through their mannerisms, their proximity, kind of letting the other one know, hey, I'm interested and I would like for you to make a move on me as well. Or to make a move on me. Interesting. So, because this feels very indirect, right? It's like there's not a lot of communication, and I find that in itself interesting because Gemini, the third house, is all about communication. But it seems like this month, instead of communicating things verbally through words, there's communication through behavior, through action, mannerism. Right? And there's a lot of interpretation going on. Like, okay, well, that person behaved in that way, so I am interpreting their behavior like this, or I'm assuming that they mean this through their behavior, right? Or they made this little hand move and I'm interpreting it, or I'm assuming that what they mean by that is to go away. So I'm going with that, and I'm going to now respond to that in this way, right? But there isn't direct communication. Like, no one told another directly, go away. There's just a lot of interpreting and maybe assuming.
And also a lot of predicting. I imagine that this is what someone is going to do. And so based on this prediction,
I'm going to behave and act in this way, or I'm going to make these kind of moves. Yeah, but there's also a lot of observation, right? So the assumption someone is coming up with, let's say, it's based on what they have seen, it's based on what they're seeing, or are perceiving, right? So I see a lot of observation going on here with the inner vision. But I definitely feel a lot of like assuming, interpreting, also maybe going by feeling, going by intuition, but not a lot of direct communication this month, which I'm not really seeing if it's like right or wrong. I'm not really getting any of that. I do feel with Swamp Angel that it could lead to some misunderstanding. There could be, with gossip here, there could be some misunderstanding because of this. And that could create hassle, some conflict along the road, even nuisance, right? Because if you're assuming how someone else is going to respond to what you do, and you're making your whole plans around that, and then they don't end up responding the way that you assume, then that could, kind of ruin all of your plans, right? Or it could just lead to some kind of trouble. So maybe you are being suggested to, if you can, be direct with your communication, especially if you find yourself trying to make moves based on what you assume will happen. Especially if, for example, you don't have to, right? There's no need to make these assumptions. There's no need to just go by intuition. If you can actually get some real, tangible, like proof of something, or you can directly communicate with someone to gain clarity, then you're being advised to do so, to go for it. There might be times where, working with your intuition, your instincts will be the best, because there might not be an opportunity to directly communicate with somebody or to get the clarity that you need. And so in those situations, intuition, instinct might be your best resource, or the thing that you will end up relying on the most. But I don't feel like it's something that you have to solely use every time, especially if you don't have to. So that's just something you're being given a heads up about. Interesting, because for group 1, we also spoke of intuition and instincts. So yeah, if you happen to also be being drawn to group 1, then this could be a confirmation that this message about intuition, instinct could definitely be for you. Anything else? If there is someone trying to get a reaction out of you, the suggestion is to not fall for it. I know that's like easier said than done, because sometimes in the moment we might not notice right away whether somebody is intentionally trying to push our buttons. But if you kind of pick up on that fairly quickly, then your advice is to not fall for it, because that is their intention. That's what they're aiming for. And so you falling for it is giving them exactly what they want, and they could end up using that against you in some kind of way. Because with healer here, having fallen out in the reversal, and then me kind of like setting it upright, I feel like someone has yet to learn how to communicate well. Someone has yet to learn how to play fairly is also what is coming through. Because, with this chess game, it sort of feels like someone is being a bit, or it's not that they're being, it's like their actions are not very transparent. It's making me think of like the genie in the bottle. The thing about the genie is that you have to be very specific and clear about your wishes, because if not, then the genie will end up giving you something that you didn't even really want, right? It's like they can kind of twist your words, right? To give you more of what they envision, more of what they wanted to give you, instead of what you actually wished for or intended or wanted. So get a bit of like a trickster vibe.
A bit conniving.
Yeah, and maybe someone hasn't grown out of that, right? Because the illustration in the healer card shows a snake shedding its old skin, and usually snakes, they shed their skin when they're growing. So this makes me think of like someone not having yet grown out of a tendency, a way of being. So if this month you are dealing with someone who is known to be a bit of a trickster, or who isn't very direct, struggles with communicating, then you are being given a heads up about this person, because they might not end up communicating things to you. They might not be very direct with their communication. They might try to get a certain reaction out of you. They might try to provoke you into doing something that they intended for you to do. They might try to steer you in a direction that you weren't exactly planning or would like to go in. So you're being advised to be cautious with this person. And if it's you who is resonating with this energy, the suggestion for you is to, again, if you can, be direct in your communication this month, because I feel like there could be some trouble later on down the road. Yeah, because with inner vision, the inner vision card showed up in the upright. And so this makes me think of someone opening their eye, like someone realizing like, this person wasn't being completely honest about this or transparent about this, or someone realizing that maybe there was some manipulation. So just something to keep in mind. I feel like this inner vision is also indicating that if there are misunderstandings, at some point within this month, these misunderstandings will come to light. Also, if there's someone here is being suggestive, like they're trying to hint something to another, and the other person isn't getting the hints, by some point in the month of August, maybe could be more towards the end, this person will have like an aha moment, like, oh my goodness, this person, they were hinting at that. Or, oh my goodness, that's what this person meant. Or, if this is about flirting, someone here will, at some point in the month of August, will realize that, oh my goodness, this person was flirting with me this whole time, and I wasn't aware, or I didn't realize until now. And they may be taking some action, right? I'm looking at this wall here, and it's making me think of, there could be like putting a stop to something, or there could be reciprocation, because I'm also noticing this this axis way here. And it's making me think of someone giving an opening to another. This also made me think of construction. Building, constructing something, reconstructing, remodeling. The Three of Clubs always reminds me of the Three of Wands in the traditional tarot, which is the card of expansion. So if you own a property, you may be wanting to expand it, like remodel it, add like another unit to it or something along those lines. Or someone could be putting up a wall to divide a property or to divide a space, make more rooms. But I see like planning, someone planning what they want to do with the space, how they want to remodel it. Yeah, I just thought of like a plan. What's it called? Like a building plan, a property plan, like a layout of a space. Yeah, if you had plans to start something, to start building something, this is the month that you could decide to start, executing your plans, to start building, to start constructing, to start developing something. The Three of Clubs, which is reminding me of the Three of Wands, made me think of a long distance relationship or foreign traveling. Some of you could be making dealings with someone who is at a physical distance from you, like maybe business dealings. The third house is the house of siblings. So some of you could be making dealings with a sibling who is at a physical distance from you, maybe who lives abroad. Maybe if you will be communicating with someone, like verbally communicating, it will be with a sibling who lives at a distance from you, like lives in another country, for example, if not another city. But now I want to draw out the tarot because nothing else is coming through. I keep looking at the cards, but it's silent in my head. So I'm going to now start drawing out the tarot to find out two things. First, we're going to look at what is something to look out for this month, and then we're going to find out what is something to look forward to. Oh, that was fast. So what is something to look out for? It's the Great Bear in the reversal. So this is what would be traditionally known as the Judgment card. And for what to look forward to this month, like good news, blessings, good opportunities, offers. Ooh, we have the Chariot. Oh, well, the Archer, but this is traditionally known as the Archer. So the zodiacs in Cancer could be of significance. Interesting, because Cancer season comes right after Gemini season, which makes me think of something like back to back. Because I mentioned the month of September, something that you could be starting this month might carry over until the month of September, or maybe like something you will be dealing with this month will be carrying over to the month of September, or you will still be dealing with it in the month of September. But what to look out for? We have the Great Bear in the reversal. I thought of the Great Escape. That's what came to mind. So there might be an opportunity this month to escape a situation, escape a dilemma. This entry here made me think of like a window, right? And it's up to you whether you want to take this opportunity. But you're being known the opportunity will be there. So this could be like an opportunity to decline something, to say no to something. I also heard to choose a different route, to do things differently, right? So this message is very similar to what also came through in group 1, where I feel like this month there could be for some of you an opportunity to break out of patterns, old patterns that maybe aren't serving you or haven't served you that well. And again, it's your choice, right? Whether you take this opportunity or not. And how you take this opportunity is by not repeating the same patterns that you have been repeating for a while. This opportunity could also come through a decision, right? Maybe through a decision that you will be making this month, you could break a cycle or come out of a pattern. The Great Bear in this deck indicates awakenings and opportunity for rebirth, but it's showing up in the reversal. It gives me this feeling of it's not for certain, this awakening. Like, this could be about you getting an opportunity to awaken, to experience some kind of awakening, but it's not being forced upon you. It's being left to your choice, being left to your free will. Like, do you want to experience this awakening? Do you want to experience this leveling up? Interesting, because that's the message that came through at the beginning, working to level up. So again, I feel like whether you want to experience this awakening or not, the telling of that will be in your decisions, will be in your actions, will be in your behavior, right? Because sometimes we could say, well, I don't even know if you want to experience an awakening or not, but just let's say that you do, right? Sometimes we can say, yes, I want to experience an awakening, I want to experience a rebirth, I want to level up spiritually, mentally, personally. We can say that, but then our actions, our behavior doesn't show that. You know, I think that's what they call cognitive dissonance. It's like what we believe in, what we want, doesn't match our actions, how we behave in the world. And what universe will listen more to, or what they're saying in this case for the month of August, what they will listen more to is your actions. Right? Your actions will speak louder than your words, and that's basically what I've been saying. Because I did mention how I'm not sensing like a lot of direct communication, like verbal communication. I'm seeing more that actions are the ones that are speaking this month. So your actions, your behavior, your decisions will speak louder than your words. They will be the ones that will announce your intentions. So that's what you're being given a heads up about. That's what you're being let known. Hey, be mindful maybe of your actions this month, because they will speak for you. Yeah, and this is not just about, the universe, the universe letting you know your actions will speak for you. This could also be just a heads up that other people will be kind of observing your behavior this month. They will be paying close attention to your decisions, and people or some people in your life could be acting based on your decisions, or will be acting based on your decisions, right? They won't be listening so much to what you're saying. They will be instead looking to what you're doing to inform them about what you want, what your intentions are, or what you're all about, maybe currently. Yeah, so if there's misinterpretation, there could be misinterpretation. Someone's actions could be misinterpreted. Yeah, but the Great Bear being the judgment card also lets me know there could be some judgment this month, right? There could be a lot of judging, maybe even on your end. I will say maybe even on your end, you could end up judging somebody unfairly or rashly just based on something that you saw, right? Like this, I don't know why I'm bringing this up, but this often happens in like the K-pop entertainment industry world, or just with artists, right? Like artists have to be very careful about how they behave around their co-stars, because every little action creates some kind of gossip, some drama. Like if someone leans a little too closely to their co-star, all of a sudden there's a lot of gossip about those two co-stars or artists, actors, actresses dating, right? There's like dating rumors just because of that little action there that maybe in the moment didn't mean anything, right? Someone was just tired and they ended up leaning a little too closely to somebody else, right? Or someone was just shifting their feet and that ended up with them leaning a little too close to somebody else. But it ends up being misconstrued, misinterpreted. So there could be some of that, or you're being let known this month to be careful with judging too quickly or assuming things, because the same as group one, some things might not be as they seem. Yeah, there's a lot of, based on the 2 readings I've done so far, there's a lot of mystery, a lot of confusion. Group one got a lot of moon energy, which can sometimes distort reality. So I don't really know what's going on this month of August, but I feel like it's a month maybe to, I don't know, maybe to take it a little bit slow, or to just be mindful, be observant, not get carried away with assumptions possibly. Make sure to tap into your intuition. But I do feel like it's also a month in which there will be a lot of opportunities to end cycles and break out of patterns, right? To create behavioral changes possibly. or to just move things in a different direction. Because I feel like this is a month also that, again, based on the 2 readings that I have done, a lot of people will be making some kind of decisions, or will be feeling the need to make decisions, to make final calls. Yeah, so just be very careful with like impulsivity this month. Are you taking action out of fear? Are you taking out action out of impatience, out of revenge is what I heard also? Or are you taking action because you genuinely feel like it's the time to do so, because you want to, you see that it's the right time to do so? Because, the reason why you take action could end up giving you different results. But now I'm going to look into what to look forward to. And we have the Archer, which is a beautiful card to get. This card represents success. The Archer is often a personality that is very driven, very motivated, ambitious, assertive. And as you can see, we have the Archer pointing at something. So this makes me think that the Archer has a target. They have their eye on a target. And so, again, this also makes me think of you seeing something that you want, and you seeing it near, you seeing it being possible for you to get it, or being possible for you to achieve it. So you could be getting closer and closer to achieving a goal this month, but I also feel like you will be very driven yourself. Very ambitious as well with the 3 of Clubs. Yeah, so if you've been lacking motivation, if you've been lacking drive, this is something to look forward to. And you've been wanting for that to change, this is something to look forward to. Or if there hasn't been anything in your life that's been stimulating to you, right? Or anything that if you haven't had any goals as of late and you're kind of missing that, then this is something to look forward to, because I do see you having a goal, right? I do see you aiming for something. I do see you having a motivation this month, in other words. And the Archer, as mentioned, indicates success. So you will be experiencing a successful outcome this month, and also some progress, some development. Good development, smooth development.
The Archer also indicates victory. It is a card that represents overcoming obstacles. So this card is hinting a win. So if you are planning to compete, you will win. If you were hoping to surpass, for example, a score or pass a level, you will. If you were hoping to overcome an obstacle, you will. If there was something in specific you were hoping to win or come out victorious in, you will.
I like how the 2 hounds or dogs are in the back of the Archer, because it makes me think of protection. Or it makes me think of support, having backup. So you will have backup this month, either from the divine, your spirit team, spirit guides, or from individuals in your life. You will have people supporting you, having your back. I want a clarifier for the Archer. One clarifier, please. Oh, okay. So 2 cards flew out. And we have the 4 of Stones, which is the 4 of Pentacles with protection. Yeah, there you go, protection. You will be divinely protected this month. Yeah, divinely protected. We also have the Page of Stones, the Links, which is the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles indicates like foundations, new beginnings, prospects. So things are moving smoothly in a situation. You are making progress. Oftentimes the Archer can indicate like fast, quick movement, but with the Page of Stones, what is coming through is steady, gradual improvement and progress. So something may be moving a little bit slowly or slower than you anticipated, but just know that regardless of the pace, even though it's moving slowly or slower than you anticipated, it is moving in a way, it is moving soundly is what I heard. Like it is moving steadily, right? It's making good progress. And maybe things are moving at this pace in order to protect you, in order to keep you safe or keep something safe, or to prevent chaos, like unnecessary chaos. I also feel like you may be protected from links. Yeah, so if there's some kind of lynx energy around you, you're being protected from it, which, yeah, lynx, this lynx is making me think of that trickster vibe I was picking up on before. Yeah, so you're being given a heads up about that energy right now, and you're also being known that the divine will be protecting you as best as they can from this energy throughout the month of August. And oh, it's interesting how I laid out the cards because it looks like this archer is aiming at this lynx. So you yourself are being kind of like wary or vigilant, especially about this lynx energy. So you yourself could be the one keeping this trickstery energy at bay, right? By being cautious, by not getting too ahead of yourself, by not falling into anybody's tricks, by not letting anybody ruffle your feathers, keeping your composure, keeping your cool, keeping level-headed, grounded, or maybe not listening to any gossip, not falling for it. This lynx also makes me think of temptation, and because we have sensual here, yeah, there could be some temptation this month, and temptation comes in different ways, right? Let's say you're trying to drop something, because I talked about ending cycles, getting out of patterns. Let's say you're trying to drop a habit, and this month may be some temptation to pick up this habit again, fall back into it. And with the archer here, it's like you're keeping it at bay. You're not falling for it. Even if there is the temptation, you're not falling for it. You're keeping it at an arm's distance. You're protecting yourself. It's you who is protecting yourself as well. Four of Stones also makes me think of a very grounded energy. So you're staying grounded this month as well. And that is also the advice, the suggestion, to remain grounded as much as you can. If meditating, doing grounding exercises helps with that, to keep from getting razzle-dazzled, getting like your nerves feeling all over the place, then that could be something that you're being encouraged to practice this month. But yeah, the Four of Stones also makes me think of like some construction, like setting foundations, building something new. So you could be making plans to construct something or to develop maybe a new project. Remember, the Page of Stones can indicate foundation. So this could be the beginning of a new project, the beginning of something new that you're building from the ground up. Yeah, so that's what is coming through. A very interesting energy this month. With the Healer card, I feel like there might be a lot going on this month, and I don't want to add more to your list to do or that you might end up needing to do this month, but please remember to look out for yourself, take care of yourself, take care of your health. Prioritize your health. Also, what I heard in specific is your nerves, and I heard, I forgot her name, but the Bennett sisters' mother, Mrs. Bennett, saying, "Oh, my poor nerves." If you can just let some things be, so some things that you don't need to concern yourself over or like fret over, then just let them go, let them be, because they might not be worth worrying over. They might not be worth your health, right? Your mental stability. And because I was thinking a lot about like foreshadowing, trying to kind of like guess or assume what another person's move will be. If you tend to do that a lot, I feel like, although it could be helpful, if it's getting to the point where it's starting to affect your mental health, your well-being, your emotional state, then I feel like you're being encouraged to take a break from that. I know it's easier said than done because it's a habit, like trying to, like thinking about these things, trying to predict another person's moves and stuff could become a habit. But I feel like you're being suggested that if you can, or more like try to take a break from that. Try to not hyper fixate on wanting to predict another person's moves. And all this time, my left ear has been ringing like crazy. And I have not been diagnosed with tinnitus. So yeah, you could be receiving like warnings or like signs through sounds, noises, maybe when you're about to do something that might not be for your best interest. There could be like a loud noise. something could fall, or you could hear, like, experience a ringing in your ear, letting you know, oh, wait, slow down, think about this again, maybe reevaluate, maybe rephrase that. Yeah, because mosquitoes make a noise, right? So there's something here about sound. Okay, but now I want to draw out an extra oracle card to get any last messages, advice, and or guidance for you guys. Oh, that was fast. Wow, okay, so this card also fell out for group 1, which is Venus, love, the key phrase, laying stepping stones by hand, and the message, love does not have to be instant. It can be cultivated. The stepping stones to get there are appreciation, trust, forgiveness, communication, tolerance, and gentleness. Connect with a part of yourself that is open-hearted and ready to embrace all life has to offer. Yeah, so I kept going on and on about how maybe you were also drawn to group 1, and seeing that this card fell out for group 1 as well. Yeah, I feel like there could be some messages meant for you in group 1 as well. Or maybe if you just came from group 1 because you decided that those messages weren't for you, there could have been like maybe one specific message in group 1 that ended up popping up in this group as well, or maybe more than one, that you're being let known that is the message for you. Like if it showed up in 2 different readings that you chose, it's because it's for you. Yeah, so this is not me telling you to take it, but maybe consider it, you know, especially if you feel called to do so. But yeah, laying stepping stones made me think of like laying stones, like stones to build a foundation, laying stones to build a building, or maybe a fort is also what I thought. With protection, yeah, I feel like you're being let known this month. It's okay to set boundaries. It will be very helpful to set boundaries, but don't confuse boundaries with forts, because creating forts might just prevent communication, might just prevent access to you, right? Like one thing is having a boundary that protects you versus, you know, putting up a wall in front of you that doesn't even allow you to interact with anybody. Because I feel like this month there might be a need to interact, maybe with someone, because especially with the chess game here, I feel like you again, as mentioned before, you may be going back and forth with someone. You may be having some kind of dealing, or making some kind of negotiations with someone. And it will be very necessary for you to be able to interact and communicate with this person, because if you don't, then again, there could be some misunderstandings or some conflict later down the road. So, yeah, I feel like, as it says right here, communication will be important, will be an important stepping stone this month. Okay, but this is what is coming through for you guys. Anything I want to point out? Snakes, lily pads, flowers, rainbows or aurora borealis could be of significance. Trees, the tree made me think of the Hobbit, so the Hobbit could be of significance. Mosquitoes, flies, sound, noise could be of importance. Chess, chessboard could be of importance. Fawns, lynxes, felines, canines also could be of significance. Someone could have been born in the year of the dog. I heard the year of the dragon, the year of the snake, the year of the horse also. And I also mentioned cherries could be of importance. But these are all the messages coming through for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought some guidance, some clarity. If it did, then please leave a like or a comment. And if you are new to this reading and you wish to stick around for more readings with Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal readings. All the information is in my website, and the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. To all of you who took the time to watch the advertisements or just let them play in the background, thank you so much for that, since that is the simplest way to support me and to support this growing channel. So if you did, I truly do appreciate it. And before I sign off, I want to give a thanks to my spirit team and your spirit guides for assisting me with delivering these messages to you. Thank you so very much. And I'm wishing you and your loved ones a wonderful rest of your day or night, depending on when you're watching. And until the next moment, bye-bye. Hello, if you were drawn to the green Menagerie deck, bienvenidos to your reading. So before we get started, I do want to give a heads up that there will be some background noise coming from my mini fan. The reason I have one on is because we are currently experiencing a heat wave where I live, and I do not have any AC in my space. So I apologize if the background noise is a bit distracting, but I do hope that you can understand that I need it. Okay, but let us get started. So in meditating on the energy of this group, a couple of messages came through, which were starting over, finding solutions, and clearing the debris. So this month of August, you may be given the opportunity to start over in an area of life, or you may be given another opportunity to do something again, to do it differently. But I intuitively feel that the expression starting over is hinting at some kind of reset. So at some point in the month of August, you might be feeling like something has shifted in you maybe, or in the air, and that you are getting an opportunity to rewrite your narrative or to kickstart a new era to start on the right foot, maybe start this month of August on the right foot, or to move things in a new direction. If you feel like so far the year of 2026 hasn't been what you imagined, or maybe you feel like you haven't behaved in a way that you would have wanted to, that you were hoping to at the start of 2026, and it seems like this month of August, it's like a new year for you. It's like you're being given the opportunity to start over and set the pace, set the tone for the rest of 2026. Interesting. So maybe one day this month you will wake up and feel renewed. You will feel reborn, and with the mindset or mentality that you can change things around or show up differently if that is what you want. Now, finding solutions made me think that this month you will be finding solutions to problems, or any problems that might arise, whether it be yours or problems of others, or just problems in general. It might be you who will end up finding a solution to them. Yeah, the example that is coming to mind is, let's say a friend comes to you with a problem. Maybe they're just chatting about it with you, and then you say something to them. You just drop some advice, and it's the solution to the problem. Because I am picking up on effortlessness. So it could be that a solution is going to come through in a very effortless way. Interesting. Now, the last message, clearing the debris, made me think again of what I mentioned at the beginning, a reset. So I just get the feeling that this month some of you could be experiencing an inner shift, like any pestering thoughts are going to be cleared, or I keep thinking of cobwebs, like you removing the cobwebs in your mind, and that allowing for more clarity, or for you to feel more clear about what it is that you want, or what I heard in my mind is who you are. If you have been experiencing self-doubt, or if there have been thoughts that have made you doubt yourself, have made you doubt your intentions, have made you doubt who you are, those are the very thoughts, ideas, notions that are going to be cleared out from your mind. What I heard in my mind right now was, there will be no doubt in your mind. So it's sort of as if this month you will have more clarity about who you are as a person, what you care about, and what you stand for. And so anything, like any ideas, thoughts, anybody else's opinions or feedback that might try to confuse you, right? Whether it be intentionally, unintentionally, or might try to instill some doubt in you, some self-doubt, won't be able to, because you will be very clear, very certain about what you stand for. And that will be your anchor, that will be your shield throughout this month of August. Okay, but that is what is coming through so far. So I'm going to set this deck aside. I will work with it later on in the reading. First, I'm going to work with oracle decks to find out what the main themes and lessons of this month will be, as well as get an overview of the month of August. Okay, so we have the 4th house with Saturn in Cancer and the key term charity. So you may be a Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising sign, or someone who will be playing a significant role may be a Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising sign. Or the placement Saturn in Cancer could be of significance. But let me draw out the rest of the cards before I get right into it. Also, the number 4 could be of significance. The number 4 also popped up more than once for group 1. So I wonder if you were also drawn to group 1. Ooh, okay. I was about to explain what the number 4 or repeated 4s indicate to me personally. And then this protected card jumped out of the deck, which served as the confirmation to what I was about to say. Because whenever I see repeated 4s, that to me indicates that there is angelic presence, or that I am being divinely protected. I am being divinely guided as well. And then, the card protected served as a confirmation that, yes, if you're seeing the number 4, 44, 444 a lot, or you do start seeing this number, that is an indicator to you that you are being divinely protected, that you do have angelic beings working with you, or you do have angelic protection is what is coming through in specific. And the number 77 also showed up. So repeating 7s could also be of significance, but we have protected with trust and secure in the message. Trust that whatever happens, you are protected as if a shield of armor is enveloping you. This protective energy is a strong force and keeps you free of danger and negative energy. Okay. Three number 7s are often seen as a number of good fortune, good luck, a very auspicious number. So just something to keep in mind for this month of August if you happen to see 3 number 7s. We also have kindreds, and we have three silhouettes in the kindreds card. So numbers that are repeated 3 times could be of significance, or the number 3 could be of importance as well. And these silhouettes here make me think of light beings of light. So you could be closely working with beings of light this month of August, or you're being let known once again that you are being divinely protected. And we have the Queen of Spades, number 42, with Amor. And this card took a while to fall out, by the way. And for the last card of this set, wow, we have number 29 with Come to Jesus, and the key phrase is truthful communication, integrity, divine intervention, surrender, and reconciliation. I find it interesting that the expression divine intervention came to mind, because when I looked at the kindreds card, I thought of divine intervention. And I was about to say that this month, you're either closely working with the divine beings of light, or there could be some divine intervention. And oftentimes divine intervention occurs when the universe, when the divine is protecting us, or keeping us safe, or guiding us towards something better. So it seems like you are being let known ahead of time to trust in that universe, the divine has your back, and that they are helping you out with something. They are guiding you, and they will be guiding you all throughout the month of August. I heard leave it to us, and that could be a message coming from your spirit team, from angelic beings, from the divine, maybe ancestors if you usually connect with and or ask for the assistance and guidance of ancestors. Yeah, it seems like there's some kind of, I'm picking up on like divine orchestration. It's like the divine is working behind the scenes. They are orchestrating, I heard an arrangement, or I heard they are doing the majority of the work this month. With the card protected, if you are worried about losing a spot or not getting a spot, you're being let known, don't worry, your spot is saved. It's saved for you. This building in the background of the charity card illustration is making me think of an institution, like a college, a university. It's also making me think of room and board. So yeah, if you're worried about not getting admitted somewhere, not getting a spot, once again, you're being let known you have a spot, or your spot is saved, it's reserved for you. You won't lose it. I keep seeing like a barrier. It's sort of as if this month you do have a shield of protection around you, because what I keep seeing in my mind is someone being in a safe zone. It's like someone is in a bubble of protection, and while they're in this bubble, they're removed from the drama, from the chaos that could be happening outside. This is the first group that I feel the need to draw out all of the cards before I start interpreting the spread. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to work with the tarot to find out two things. First, what to look out for, and second, what to look forward to this month. So let us see what to look out for this month. Okay, so we have the Tower card and the Ace of Wands, and what to look forward to. We have Strength. Okay, so it seems that this month, with the Tower card and the Ace of Wands, there will be an ending, and soon after this ending, there will be a new beginning. But honestly, with the Tower and the Ace of Wands, I'm sensing a reconstruction. Like something is falling apart so that you can build anew, or build in the way that you envision, in the way that you would like. Aces speak of new beginnings, and the Tower card often comes up when there is some kind of shakeup. There is an ending or an awakening, a wake-up call. So now I understand why that energy of starting over, a restart came through at the beginning, because I feel like that's exactly what you will be experiencing this month. So if plans change this month, if you find yourself being redirected, know that it is because you are being guided towards something better, right? Plans are changing because something that didn't work out, wasn't going to work out, has fallen away or is falling away, and you're being directed towards something better, right? Also, if plans get canceled, or if like appointments get pushed back, it is most likely because you are being not only divinely redirected, but also divinely protected. You're being kept safe from something. But honestly, I feel like if you believe in angels, right? If you believe in beings of light, if you believe in the divine or a higher power, it feels like this higher power, these beings of light, it sounds a bit strange, but how it's coming through is they are taking a blow for you. And that doesn't mean that they are getting hurt in any way. What I'm trying to say by this is, I keep thinking of like a shield of protection. Like they're casting a shield of protection. Think of these like three beings of light in the Kindred's card. See how they are like holding each other, kind of creating this barrier. That's the divine, right? And they're creating this barrier around you to keep like the aftershock waves of this Tower moment from hitting you, or to lessen the shock of them for you. Because I feel like you are going through massive changes. You are experiencing massive shifts, or your life is. But what, let's say, your spirit team or what the divine is doing for you is they're keeping like the nasty, I don't even know what to call it, like the harshness of these changes away from you. right? I keep looking at this charity card, and it's as if these angels over here are letting this person know who's holding the two children, don't worry, you go out, you have fun, and we'll take care of this, we'll handle this. Oh, that's why the message finding solutions came to mind, because it's sort of as if, okay, you have this problem, like, okay, we see this problem, and I know you're worrying about how to solve it, but don't worry. Like, you go out, you live your life, you take care of your responsibilities, and we'll figure out how to solve this problem for you. Or we'll do the majority of the work, we'll take the majority of the bulk, so that you don't have to stress out about it, right? Because it's sort of as if your angels, right, or these beings of light who are working with you, they want you to experience the positive of the tower moment. They don't want for you to experience the harshness of it. Like, whatever will serve you, they want for you to experience it. Whatever is unnecessary for you to experience, to feel through, to see, they want to keep it away from you, because you don't have to deal with it, so why should you deal with it? And they're kind of like keeping it away. Because the other thing I was seeing is, if some things in your life haven't been looking that great, I feel like this month they could start looking up. And there could be a point where you might wonder, like, where did this change come from? Like, this positive change of events. Like, 1 minute this wasn't working out, and then all of a sudden it's working out. Like, how? And, the answer to that how is the divine. Like, the divine was doing all of that work. They were the ones attending to the nitty gritty. So with the Kindred's card, this is a month in which you might be receiving unexpected help and or assistance, or you will find support. I just heard in my mind, you will be shown the way. I'm looking at these angels and I'm noticing how they're kind of ushering this person who's holding the two children away. And so this month you might be guided away from something or out of something, right? So if at any point you feel like you're being pushed out, like pushed out of a situation, pushed out of an establishment, pushed out of a space or of an environment, it could very well be for a reason. It could very well be to protect you, right? Because I feel like whatever you're being pushed out of is something that is about to fall apart. Like, the example that is coming to mind is, like, let's say someone is in this tower, right? And this tower is about to fall apart. But before it does, whoever's in this tower starts getting pushed out of the tower, right? Maybe they are called out of the tower, or they are escorted out, or they're told that they can no longer be there. And although in the moment, the person who was in the tower might be feeling quite frustrated about being pushed out of the tower, later on, after the tower falls and they realize that they're safe, it might sink that, oh, they were escorted out of this tower for a reason. They were being protected, right? So yeah, if you experience like abrupt endings, or again, some kind of redirection, just know it is divine protection. And I keep looking at the Strength card and it makes me think of trust. I feel like this month you might be surprised by the amount of trust that you have in the unfoldment of things. Or this Strength card feels more like a thank you from your spirit team, a thank you from the universe for trusting in them to guide you, right? So this to me is indicating that there won't be resistance from you, right? If all of a sudden you feel nudged to move in a certain direction, or all of a sudden, plans change, you're not resisting those nudges, you're not resisting those changes, you're maybe acknowledge them as being divine redirection, divine intervention, divine protection, or you're just trusting in them, trusting that this is happening for a reason, and you're going with it. And the universe is thinking that energy, is thinking that approach, because through you trusting in them, trusting in the unfoldment of things, they are able to keep you safe, and they are able to guide you towards something better. They are able to assist you. And the Strength card is also your spirit team acknowledging your inner strength, your courage, your tenacity, your resilience, because they know that to trust in the unfoldment of things is not always easy. And to trust in the changes that we experience in our lives, that sometimes can be so unexpected and a bit confusing, is not easy as well. So you doing that with grace is truly admirable. With the Tower and the Ace of Wands, there could be some revamping this month. I did speak of an opportunity to rebuild. So if an opportunity such as that presents itself to you this month, I feel you will be taking it. So if at any point you have asked yourself, can I rebuild? Do I have the strength, the courage, the stamina to rebuild, to start over, to start again? The answer to your question with the strength card is yes. This is the month in which you will find out that you have it in you, that you can. And not only that you have it in you and that you can, but that you want to, that you're willing to, and that you're ready for it. You're ready for this new beginning. I do want to draw out one more card. Yeah, if you have been wanting a second chance, you're being given a second chance or just another chance this month. And as soon as you are given, you are offered this other chance, you're taking it. At least that's what is coming through in the illustration of the Come to Jesus card. Oh, okay, so to clarify, the Strength card is the Two of Pentacles, which can indicate decisions. But it also makes me think of options. You weighing out two more options. So for what to look forward to this month, you have options. This is a month in which you will be given options, or you will find out that you do have options, that you are not stuck, or that it's not the end. You might also be needing to make a very important decision. That's a message that has come through for all the groups so far, needing to make an important decision in the month of August. And you're being let know you will have the strength to make this important decision. So because I mentioned choices and options, this month you may be deciding to walk away from something after you come to realize, maybe through some kind of wake-up call, that you do not have to settle. I keep thinking of the expression charity case. I don't know why that is coming through, but I do feel like some of you this month are coming to realize that you do not have to settle, or you do not have to remain somewhere any longer. You can move on. You can exit a situation. You can walk away from something or free yourself from a situation that you felt stuck in. And the Protected card is making me think, or it's more so serving as a confirmation that universe has your back, that if you decide to walk away from a situation because you have come to the conclusion that this situation does not serve you, the universe, your spirit team is supporting you. They are backing you up. They are helping you out. And they are helping you out either through making this transition easier for you or through making exiting this situation easy for you. I feel like the universe is making a transition easy for you. And one of the ways that they are helping you out with that is by giving you other options, right? It's by maybe offering you some kind of safety net, or it's just by making the letting go easy. I also heard the cutting cord easy as well. Because this Tower card and the Ace of Wands, it's making me think of a new beginning. It's like you starting at a new life, you starting over, starting afresh, starting anew, as mentioned before. So, this could be the month that kind of sets the tone for the rest of the year. Like you could look back later on at the month of August and think, well, that's the month that my life completely changed. Right? That's the month that I went from working a corporate job to being self-employed. Or that's the month that I ended an unhealthy relationship and set myself free and started working on myself, started building a healthier relationship with myself. That's the month that I quit that terrible job with the terrible salary or those terrible work conditions and went back to school or got a job somewhere else or became a freelancer or started my own company or started paving my way to building my own company, to becoming an entrepreneur, something along those lines. right? This could also be like a month in which something major is changing within you, right? So again, later on, you could look back at the month of August and think, well, that's the month that I went from not believing in myself to believing in myself, or deciding enough is enough of this. I'm going to fight for what I want. Or that's the month that I went from having no confidence to having confidence, from not choosing myself to choosing myself, from settling for less than to setting my own standards. That's the month that I decided to get back on my feet. That's the month that I decided to fight for myself. That's the month that I decided today is a new day. Today is going to mark the beginning of the rest of my life, right? With the Come to Jesus card, I will say when I first looked at this card, I thought of like someone going through some kind of maybe spiritual awakening, or going through a religious awakening is also what I thought, because I thought of someone converting to a religion, or maybe being awoken to a new or different religion, right? So maybe this month some of you could become religious, or you could be open to spirituality. You could have a spiritual awakening. You could be renewing your faith, or you could find a closer connection to a higher power, maybe to God if you believe in God, or to spirit guides or angelic presence. Because I do see the possibility of some of you having like some kind of experience that might renew your faith in the divine, or it might confirm to you that there is a higher power, or that you are being divinely protected by higher beings, by angelic beings, for example. But again, only take that which resonates with you. But I do see a lot of coincidences, as they call them, happening this month, because with Cupid, it's as if things are aligning. Because I think of how Cupid shoots their little arrow, and then once their arrow hits a target, then their target becomes infatuated or in love with whoever, whatever. And so I'm seeing this Cupid representing like angelic beings, beings of light, and they're kind of targeting or hitting whatever or whoever they have decided to send as a guide to you, right? So for example, if you're needing help and somebody all of a sudden comes up to help you, that person was sent by your angels. That person was sent by your spirit team, by the divine. They were hit by little Cupid here, your little assistant, your guardian angel, to go and assist you. So you could have a lot of, well, that was very, very convenient moments, or that was so perfectly aligned. Like I needed that, and then all of a sudden it showed up, or I needed help, and then all of a sudden this person showed up, or it seemed like the puzzle pieces just came together so nicely at the right time. So a lot of serendipitous moments. You may be experiencing a lot of serendipitous moments this month. But again, it's the universe, the divine helping you out. And I think that the only thing that you are being advised for this month is to have integrity, and again, to trust and have faith, but most importantly, to have integrity. Keep true to yourself. And yeah, maybe if at any point you feel this desire, this urge to help someone or to show up for someone, to trust in that as well, because maybe you in that moment were hit by somebody's guardian angel, by someone's little Cupid, to be of assistance to someone who needs it, right? To serve as a guide. So I do want to offer the alternative, which is this month you may be the one helping and or assisting others. This month you may be the one offering sound, helpful, and encouraging advice to those who maybe are going through or experiencing a tower moment, or are feeling a bit down or desolate. So someone's spirit guides, guardian angels may be speaking through you to get through to another. Because the fourth house is the house of family, the home. This month you may be helping out a family member, maybe providing emotional support, maybe offering advice as mentioned before, or a family member could be helping and assisting you in some kind of way, or just be very supportive this month. And it doesn't have to be one family member, it could be many who will be very supportive of you or offering you emotional, moral support this month of August. If at some point you feel like you are left in the unknown, right? Like something has ended, but nothing new has showed up, so you don't know where to go. Know that that moment of confusion, of uncertainty will be short-lived. It will be temporary. It will be brief, because very soon someone will show up to show you the way, or an opportunity will show up for you. If you are given alternative options, you are being encouraged to consider them, because these alternative options might be Spirit's way of showing you that there are better routes, better ways, right? That you are not stuck, that you don't have to deal with the same old, or you don't have to remain in a situation, because there is more out there and there is better out there. Anything else? I feel like, I'm not sure how long this reading has been so far, but I feel like I haven't said much. I apologize if I haven't, but I'm not really being shown much. I do see the possibility of maybe someone physically moving this month. So it could be you. You could be physically moving at some point within the month of August, or this is a month in which you might be making plans to move, be looking for a new place. If that is the case, know that a place will pop up. Like if you're looking for a new place, a place will pop up, a better place with better rent, or better utilities, better amenities is also what I heard, or in a better location and a better spot. I heard friends will be helping you out. Friends will be helping you out, or a community will be helping you out. I also see people approaching you, and I don't mean like in a weird way. I feel, I don't know, I wonder if some of you are on social media, or if you work with clients, customers, because I see people like customers, clients approaching you, or you receiving more engagement at some point in the month of August. And maybe if you haven't been receiving a lot of engagement, if you haven't been working with a lot of customers or clients, this could be a positive turn of events that might leave you a little dumbstruck, maybe because it's so unexpected, this positive turn of events. Like if all of a sudden you're getting more customers, you could be thinking like, where did they come from? Like what has changed? And again, I feel like something has changed, but what has changed, it's like happening in the background. Like your angels are taking care of that. I'm not sure what that is about. I'm trying to look at the specifics, but I'm not getting clarity on that. Yeah, maybe because the message clearing the debris came to mind. If there was some like bad juju, right? If there was some like maybe negative energies, that was creating some stagnation in your life, that was maybe keeping you down, or making it difficult for you to thrive in an area, or making it difficult for people to see you, to reach out to you, to connect with you. That's what your angels or your spirit team is working on. That's what they're clearing out. That's what they're telling you, hey, don't worry about this. We're taking care of it, and we'll take care of it. You just keep doing you. You just keep working with integrity, keep being yourself, keep shining your light, and we'll take care of the rest, right? We'll remove the debris. All of a sudden, I thought of an aspiring artist who is very talented, very charismatic, but they're not getting the attention that maybe they deserve or they merit. And it's unknown why. Like, why isn't this artist blowing up on social media, right? Or in the entertainment industry? And then the angels, spirit, the divine comes in to look into that and start working on that. Like if there's anything interfering with this person's growth, with this person being seen, right? With this person receiving the positive exposure. They're the ones who start pulling strings in the background. But meanwhile, they're telling this artist like, hey, you keep doing you. You keep singing your beautiful voice. You keep shining bright. We'll take care of all this drama. We'll take care of all this mess, all this other nonsense that you don't have to worry about, because all you have to worry about is just doing you, being you. And then they take care of that, and that's when there's a shift. That's when this Ace of Wands energy happens, this new beginning, this passionate new beginning. Yeah, I feel like something like a blockage. A blockage is the tower that is falling apart, that is falling away. And this tower card could also be representing a mindset, a mentality. But I feel like for some, it could be representing an energy, some kind of energy that was maybe clouding your mind, or it was creating this kind of smoky cloud around you, making it difficult for you to be visible to opportunities, visible to others. But that is being removed, that is being cleared out. This could also be representing baggage, maybe some karma. Yeah, because the Queen of Spades makes me think of cutting cords. Yeah, so you could, if you believe in karma, you could be clearing karma this month of August. And the Strength card and the Two of Pentacles is also making me think that this month, because something is ending, something is being cleared out, something that wasn't serving you, some of you may need to be making a decision on how you want to move forward, whether you want to rebuild, reconstruct, try again at something, but this time applying the lessons that you have learned, or if you want to completely start anew, like do something completely different. Like, for example, this could be, do I rebrand? Do I revamp? Or do I start a new business? Do I start a new venture? What do I do? What do I want? Or do I choose both? Do I do a little bit of both? Yeah, so options. You will have options this month. Some of you could be thinking about going back to school, maybe working part-time and also going back to school, because the opportunity to be able to do that is presenting itself to you this month. I feel like someone is helping you out. Someone is offering you an opportunity. Maybe an opportunity to go back to school, or maybe an opportunity to work part-time while you take classes. Maybe someone is offering to pay for your classes, or maybe you're being offered an internship, right? An opportunity to keep learning, gain experience while earning money. So this could be like a paid internship. The Come to Jesus card always makes me think of a silver lining. So this month you will be given, you will be shown, you will be presented with a silver lining. Yeah, and I did talk about luck with the number 77, right? So yeah, your luck could be turning around, could be looking up this month of August. But now I want to draw out an oracle card to get any last messages, advice, and or guidance. So we have fascination or anxiety with Virgo and emotion, and the key phrase, a woodpecker bores through the tree bark, and the message, your capacity to drill into the details may be resulting in an exciting and energizing feeling of fascination, or it may be causing you to overthink things and feel anxious. If the latter is the case, it might be helpful to broaden your perspective. Yeah, fascination or anxiety makes me think that there could be two ways of going about unexpected changes, right? Or divine redirection. We could have fascination for it. We could, kind of like trust that this is for the better, that this is leading us to something better. Or we could have or experience anxiety over it, like wondering what this means, if it means something bad, or if we did something wrong, etc. So you're being let know you don't have to experience anxiety over the changes that will be occurring in your life, but instead you can look at this as an opportunity for possibilities, as an opportunity for growth, as an opportunity for development and forward movement. But of course it is up to you, because I feel like based on this spread, universe is coming through to ask you to trust trust in the unfoldment of things. Trust that you are being divinely protected, that you are being divinely guided, especially this month, and that you are being shown alternatives, that you are being shown new ways. What I feel is that this month you're being given an option. You're being given an option to move forward, an option to start anew, to start over, an option to start building or creating a life that you would resonate more with, perhaps. There could also be an opportunity to create new connections, make new friendships, healthier relationships. There could also be an opportunity for reconciliation, to reconnect with someone who you've been missing, someone who you have been wanting to work things out with. But I do see an opportunity to make new friendships, new connections. I just heard, don't worry, this is covered. This is covered, or this will be covered. Not sure what that is about. Because I'm seeing a lot of illustrations of sun rays. This month you may be waking up earlier than usual, or you might turn into an early riser, a morning person, if you aren't already. But this is what is coming through for you guys. Anything I want to point out, the zodiac sign Cancer, Virgo, and Leo could be of significance. I mentioned the number 4, the number 7, the number 3. Numbers repeated 3 times. Felines, avians, reptiles could be of importance. And angel numbers or angelic presence, angel wings, cupids could be of significance. But these are all the messages coming through for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought some guidance, some clarity. If it did, then please leave a like or a comment. And if you're new to this channel and you wish to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal readings. All the information is on my website, and the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. To all of you who took the time to watch the advertisements or just let them play in the background, thank you so much for that, since that is the simplest way to support me and to support this growing channel. So if you did, I truly do appreciate it. And before I sign off, I want to give a thanks to my spirit team and your spirit guides for assisting me with delivering these messages to you. Thank you so very much, and I'm wishing you and your loved ones a wonderful rest of your day or night, depending on when you are watching. And until the next moment, bye-bye. Hello, if you were drawn to the Edmund Dulac Tarot deck, bienvenidos to your reading. So before we get started, I do want to give you guys a heads up that there is going to be some background noise. I currently have my window open and a mini fan running. The reason for that is it's super hot where I currently live. We are experiencing a heat wave, and I do not have any air conditioning in my space, so this is the best I could do to keep from melting. So I do apologize if the background noise ends up being a bit distracting, but I do hope that you can understand that I need some air. Oh, all of a sudden that reminded me of the song No Air by Jordan Sparks. If you know that song and you love it, you have excellent music taste. If you have not yet heard this song, I will link it for you in the pinned comment and description box if you are interested in listening to it. It is a great song. Okay, but let us get started with your reading. So when meditating on the energy of this group, what I saw in my mind's eye was someone sitting on a throne, and words and names that start with the letter W kept popping up in my mind. So the letter W could be of significance. Also, I did pick up on some excitement, and I got the strong feeling that you will be getting what you want, or something you've always wanted or have been wanting for a while now this month. Yeah, so maybe the letter W came through as an indicator that you will be winning something, or you will be feeling like a winner this month. Because you know the word win starts with the letter W. Yeah, and someone sitting on a throne makes me think of a leader, someone who is at the top of their game, or who is in the lead. Someone sitting on their throne may also be indicating that this month you will feel like royalty. You will feel powerful, empowered, or as mentioned, at the top of your game. Okay, but this is what is coming through so far. So I'm going to set this deck aside. I will be working with it at a later point in your reading. First, I will be working with Oracle decks to get an overview of the month, find out what the main themes and lessons of August will be. Okay, so let us begin. This is the Oracle of the Radiant Sun deck, by the way. All the decks I will be working with in this reading will be listed in the description box. If you're interested, they are always listed in the description box, by the way. Ooh, okay, so your first card is the second house with Venus in Taurus and the key term romance, okay? Immediately when I said the word romance, I thought of romanticizing. So this month you may be romanticizing your life. You yourself could be feeling a bit romantic. You could be watching a lot of romance films, reading quite a few romance novels, or even writing romantic stories, poems, or writing in your journal about a romantic experience or a romance. Interesting. But let me draw out the rest of the cards. So we have, if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy, with the number 9 and the key phrases self-love, relaxation, regeneration, satiety within, and replenishment. Beautiful. Yeah, again, with this person being in a bathtub with a candle, quite a few candles lit, I am once again picking up on romanticizing or even romancing yourself through preparing yourself a candlelit dinner, setting up a nice bath experience for yourself, that sort of thing. I just closed the window, so if the audio sounds a little bit different, it's because of that. I thought I would be able to record with the window open, but no, a lot of noise filters in. So let me keep on going. Ooh, so it's a lot more quiet now that I closed the window, and this makes me think of silence. So this month, you may be enjoying a moment of peace, a moment of silence, or it's going to be a lot more quiet where you live or where you wind down. You may be getting a lot more peace and quiet this month of August. Oh, yes. And we have vulnerable with open and the message, something may leave you feeling vulnerable as if all is exposed. Whatever you do, continue to fall into vulnerability. You need this learning experience to further your growth. And we also have the number 27. I don't know if I mentioned that. I don't know why I got really excited when I looked at the books. Maybe because when I was talking about having a moment of peace and quiet, I was imagining in my mind someone reading, enjoying a good book in peace and quiet. And when I looked at the book, it made me think of that. And I personally love reading books, novels, series. So yeah, this month you could be getting a lot of reading done. If you are a bookworm, an avid reader, I do see you getting the opportunity to sit down with a good book. And because I mentioned romance novels, you could be enjoying a lot of those this month. Or romantasy themed books. Yeah, and I wonder if some of you are actual writers, if you are currently in the process of writing a novel, a story, or some kind of written work. It could even be a thesis. If you are, I do get the feeling that at some point in the month of August, you will get a chance to relax about this written project or written work. So that could be due to different things. One of the reasons that comes to mind is because you have finished writing your first draft or have completed your written work, and so now you can unwind and relax, not stress about this project any longer. Or another reason could be you've met a deadline. Right? Maybe you set a deadline for yourself to have something completed by a certain time in the month of August, and this is indicating or hinting at that, yes, you will be meeting that deadline. And so as a reward to yourself, you could be giving yourself some time to relax. Another example that is coming to mind is a breakthrough. So let's say if you were experiencing a writer's block, it seems like at some point in the month of August, something will click for you. And as a result, you will be getting out of that writer's block. And that in itself could be bringing you a lot of peace of mind, or making you feel as if you can relax now. Maybe take a little break after all that stress or thinking, trying to come up with something. Yeah, and I know I'm going on and on about writing, and I know not a lot of you could be in the process of writing something. So just know that if this is not about a written project or written work, this could also be pertaining to anything that you have been working on developing. Just know that this month you will be making progress and or meeting a deadline and or completing your project or completing a phase of it. But okay, let me draw out the rest of the cards. Actually, I want to draw a card from this deck first. The planet Venus makes me think of inspiration. So I see you being very inspired this month, but also there's this feeling of taking it slow. So this is a month in which you won't be forcing yourself. So if things aren't coming to you like ideas, inspiration, you're not forcing yourself to be inspired. Instead, you're taking that as a sign to maybe step back from something that you're working on, give yourself a little break, or focus on something else, because maybe through you focusing on something else, you allowing yourself to unwind, that's when inspiration strikes. Or maybe you're taking that as a sign that you are a little stressed, that you are feeling a bit burnt out, and that maybe you do need a little break to regenerate, to replenish. Because if ideas aren't coming to you, if you are feeling like mentally blocked, it could be due to fatigue. Yeah, because this open book, it makes me think of someone who was closed or who felt closed off, whose mind was a bit closed. And after they've taken a break, after they've taken some time to unwind, to relax, or to de-stress, decompress, that's when their mind opens up or their imagination kind of flourishes. Or they become a bit more receptive. I all of a sudden thought of channeling. I wonder if some of you do channel messages. If you do something that requires intuitive insight, because if that is the case for you, sometimes when we are stressed or we are tired, it makes it a little bit difficult to channel, to feel into our intuition is what came to mind, or to translate is also what came through, like translate what is coming through intuitively, coming through psychically into words, human language. Yeah, so some decompressing rest could be very helpful to become a little bit more receptive to messages coming through from our higher self, our spirit team, or receptive to the energy around us. Okay, so let me draw another card. Oh, okay, so 2 cards fell out. We have good fortune, and we have the sun and the reversal. Interesting. And for the last card, the number 9 could be of significance, because I just noticed it's showing up twice in your spread. We have 9 in the "If Mama Ain't Happy, Ain't Nobody Happy" card. And then if we reduce the number 27 in the vulnerable card by adding the digits 2 and 7, we get the number 9 once more. So you could have been born in the month of September, or the month of September could be of significance for you guys. Maybe something that you will be starting or continue working on this month. You will still be working on in the month of September. I all of a sudden thought of a relationship, maybe because of this romance card with the couple over here. So could very well be that a relationship will continue to flourish and or deepen in the month of September. But some of you could be a life path number 9. You could have been born on the 9th, 19th, 29th of a month. You could be currently 29 or turning 29 this month. Maybe this year is your personal year number 9, but the number 9 definitely seems to be of significance. The 9th house in astrology is associated with the zodiac sign Sagittarius. So Sagittarius could also be of importance. And then for your last card of this set, we have the Ace of Diamonds with number 9 again. Well, the birds. Yeah, so the number 9 could definitely be of significance because you have 3 number 9s in your spread. The number 9 in itself is a number that can indicate endings. I personally see it as a number that indicates a getting ready for an ending, like tying loose ends to bring something to an end, to a close. Yeah, and that could be the reason why the sun showed up in the reversal, because the sun can sometimes indicate new beginnings. It makes me think of a new dawn. So it feels like you are in the brink of experiencing some kind of ending, or more like a completion, closure in your life or in an area of life. But in the month of August, it's like you are making preparations for that completion. Like you're getting ready to complete something. And it could be in the month of September where you will finally be completing something. So it could be a project, it could be a written work, or it could be some kind of process. I all of a sudden thought of graduation. So maybe some of you are about to graduate, or soon you will be graduating, maybe in the month of September, or you could be turning something in by the end of the month of August. Yeah, because then we do have an ace here, and aces also speak of new beginnings. Yeah, so I'm also getting a vibe of a transition. This could be a transitional month, or you could already be in the midst of starting something new. But as you are starting something new, as you are taking maybe on a new project, getting settled somewhere new is also what I heard. You may still be in the process of wrapping something up, right? Maybe letting go of the old, or I heard moving all of your stuff out from the old space. That could be the case as well. But I also feel that this transition is happening in your energy as well. Like you are moving from one chapter of your life to another. Like maybe this month you are in the last page of a chapter in the book of your life. Yeah, and with good fortune, I do see you celebrating a victory, celebrating a win. I see you feeling very fortunate at some point in the month of August. I see you getting lucky or feeling quite lucky, right? So again, I'm being reminded of the word win. So you could be winning something this month. If you're entering a raffle, some kind of giveaway, you could end up being the winner or the chosen one, is what I heard. What else is coming through is you could be scoring a really good deal this month. If you are in the lookout for a specific item, if you're hoping that it will go on sale this month, or if something has been out of stock and you're hoping that it will go back in stock, then this is the month in which you might get an opportunity to purchase this item at the price that you want on sale, or just get an opportunity to purchase it, get it. I also keep thinking of thrifting, something secondhand. So you could be buying something secondhand if that is what you have been wanting or looking for this month, at a really good price and in really good conditions, is what I heard. Also, good fortune made me think of you feeling very lucky in that I keep thinking of the word scoring. Oh, so that could be indicating that Okay, wait, several messages are coming to mind. The first one is, if you're taking an exam or you're retaking an exam this month, you could be scoring a higher grade, higher score than the previous time, or what I also heard is a passing score. But what I was going to say is you could be feeling very lucky this month in that you're coming across really good material, as in, let's say, if you are an avid reader and you have been experiencing a bit of a book slump because every book you pick up has been a bit of a letdown, then this month, don't worry. It seems like the books you will be picking up or will be recommended to you will end up satisfying your book themes. They will be really good stories with really good plots, etc. This could also be true with films, series, video games, comic books, mangas, etc. And in other words, really good entertainment. Some of you could also be stumbling upon a channel, maybe a social media page, a content creator that you will really like, and that might end up inspiring you as well. The sun card in the reversal is really standing out to me because it makes me think of a winding down. It makes me think of things kind of cooling a bit. Oh, because I am currently experiencing a heat wave. This could be very literal, that if you are currently experiencing a heat wave where you are located, it could be that in the month of August, the weather will cool down. It will be less hot. But I'm also picking up on that at some point in the month of August, there could be a lot of excitement. And you yourself may be feeling very hyped up, very hyper, or very energetic. But then at a different point in the month of August, it's like things are going to wind down a bit, relax. Yeah, especially because we have this "if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy" card. So I do see someone kind of taking it slow at some point. I'm also sensing that if at any point in the month of August you start feeling a bit restless, impatient, that restlessness or impatience is going to settle down or dwindle. I heard temper at some later point in the month of August. I get a half and half energy. It's like half of the month of August, there could be a lot of energy, maybe some restlessness, a lot of excitement, or a lot could be going on. You may be working on a lot of projects, taking on a lot of tasks, getting a lot of stuff done. You may be on the go, 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 while on the second half or the other half of the month of August, things might slow down a bit. Or just calm down, because I see you kind of taking it slow, having more time to relax, unwind, or move at a more leisurely pace. Because we do have this romance energy, right? There could be some romance in your life this month, right? You could be going on romantic dates. You could be romantically seeing someone, or just be open to getting to know someone in a romantic way. And the sun card in the reversal, again, is really standing out to me. So, okay, two different interpretations are coming to mind. The first interpretation is, if there was a lot of passion in a relationship, maybe even a lot of like lust, I feel like this month things are going to simmer a bit. I'm thinking of embers, right? First we have this raging fire, and then once the fire dwindles, we have these beautiful hot embers. So that means that the heat, the passion is still there, but it's not so out of control or all-consuming as it was previously or at the start. By the way, if you are single and you're not really resonating with these messages about romantic connections and relationships, or if you are currently in a relationship or you are seeing someone and there are difficulties in your connection and a relationship, then just know there are messages meant for you in the tarot portion of this reading. So if you feel called to, then please do stick around for the tarot cards. And yes, this is Kim from the future, which is why this is a voiceover. So again, if you're not really resonating with these messages, then you might end up resonating with what comes through in the tarot portion of this reading. Okay, but let's go back to where we left off, or where I left off. So If you have recently met someone, or if you met someone in the month of July, for example, your relationship connection with this person will continue to develop. It's just the dynamic could be changing a little bit between you both, because what I'm seeing for the month of August is an opening up, like opening up to each other, being more vulnerable with each other. The example that is coming to mind is of, I don't know why, but like two people running really fast next to each other. And because they're so busy running, right, and trying to keep up with each other, they don't really get an opportunity, or they can't really speak and communicate, right? They're just running and sharing this excitement of running together. But then both of them decide to slow down their pace, to jog or simply walk side by side. And now that they're able to catch their breath and slow down, they can now start conversing with each other and asking like questions and getting to know each other, and just enjoy the scenery around them and enjoy more of each other's company. So yeah, if something started a little fast paced, I feel like this month it's the slowing down to get to know each other, to really enjoy each other's company, and to deepen the connection, to kind of create or develop some type of emotional intimacy. Because the Ace of Diamonds reminds me of the Ace of Pentacles, which is a card that can indicate foundations and commitment as well. So yeah, maybe you were dating someone, and that dating period could have been very passionate, could have felt like a whirlwind romance kind of thing. But this month, it's like you're experiencing a different aspect of this connection, this relationship. One that is a little bit more grounded, still passionate, still lovely, still loving, but just more in the moment, more present. So what else I'm seeing is this month there is a possibility from going to dating someone, or just dating, to being in a committed relationship. Or someone here could be thinking about committing to another, or opening up to the idea of commitment, like settling down with someone, or fully opening up to another, allowing another into one's heart. I will say, for those of you who haven't met anyone yet, it could be that this month you may be meeting someone. You may be meeting someone who your dynamic with them would be just as I have described, where it might start a little fast, right? There might be a lot of passion at the beginning, but it's not a situation where it burns hot one moment and then nothing, the fire completely extinguishes. No, it instead goes from being a blazing fire to these smoldering embers. So that's kind of the vibe I'm getting here. For those of you who are in a committed relationship, there could be a lot of like lovey-dovey moments between you and your significant other. I'm also seeing this beautiful situation where two people in a relationship are so in sync with each other, but also so at ease, at peace with each other, so secure in their relationship that they could spend time alone, like not with each other, and that's not going to damage the relationship. Because I do see, if you are in a committed relationship, I do see you spending time alone, enjoying some time alone. And I also see your partner respecting your alone time. But I also see you having moments with your significant other, spending time with your significant other. And I also see something like being in each other's company while you and your partner are doing your own things. Like maybe you're reading a book and your partner is, I don't know, painting, playing video games, watching a movie, or, vice versa. You're each doing and enjoying your own things while being in each other's company, and enjoying that as well. Like being able to be in each other's company. Yeah, so that makes me think of mutual respect and comfort. There's a lot of comfort, safety that I'm picking up here. But let me draw out now some tarot cards to look at two things. First, what to look out for this month, and second, what to look forward to. The birds here and the vulnerable card made me think of a heart-to-heart. So you could be having one or more heart-to-hearts with a significant other, or with a loved one, with a friend. And I see this heart-to-heart being very, very crucial in the deepening of your relationship with the person who you will be having a heart-to-heart with. I also sense that this heart-to-heart will feel very safe, will be very healthy. Yeah, I feel like this month you are feeling very safe in your relationships. So safe that you know you can open up to someone and it'll be okay, right? That you can have like a heart-to-heart. Talk about your feelings at any moment, maybe, and it'll be okay. It's safe to do so, which is very nice. Yeah, so some of you or all of you may be feeling very fortunate about your relationships, your connections. The sun in the reversal makes me think of nostalgia, sentimentality. So at some point in the month of August, you could be feeling a bit sentimental or nostalgic. You could be experiencing a little of the blues. And if you do, I feel like this is you just simply feeling through your emotions. You kind of going through the motions is what I heard in my mind. So the advice for you guys is to just allow yourself to feel through it. Don't try to repress whatever is coming up for you, because this could just be you cleansing, right? You kind of like purging, or you allowing for some authenticity, because, you know, we humans, we experience an array of emotions, and it's normal for us to experience a little bit of some nostalgia, some sadness from time to time. And I feel like the Romance card is hinting at that. If at any point you need some comfort, you need a hug, you will have it, you will get it from a loved one, from your loved ones. Yeah, again, that feeling of safety is coming through. So you will be feeling safe this month, and it's because of your loved ones, because of the people who are surrounding you, and also the energies, because we do have this cute Cupid here in the background, which makes me think of guardian angels and beings of light. So you are also surrounded by beings of light who are very supportive, very loving, and who send you light, who send you warmth every chance that they can get, every time that you are open to their light, open to their love, and every time that you need it, you ask for it, they're there, right? So if at any point this month you all of a sudden feel like someone is embracing you, even though no one is actually embracing you, that could be, you know, a guardian angel giving you a hug, or maybe a loved one who is on the other side coming through to give you a hug, to send you some love. I also heard a baby, an infant who is on the other side, or who is in maybe the 5D, who has maybe yet to be born, or an animal companion, again, who is on the other side, who maybe you have yet to meet in this lifetime, who is coming through, or who will be coming through at some point or at different points in the month of August, energetically, to send you some love. To offer you company whenever you need it, or whenever you are open to their company. Okay, so for what to look out for, we have, wow, the Two of Cups in the reversal. I actually want to pull out a clarifier for this. And we have the Knight of Wands in the upright. And now I'm going to draw out some cards for what to look forward to this month. And we have the Six of Swords. And to clarify the Six of Swords, please. We have the Five of Pentacles. Okay, so interesting. For those of you who are single and who crave romance, right, or who maybe often tune into like love readings, like pick a card love readings on YouTube to know about when and how your romantic partner will be coming into your life. I feel like at some point in the month of August, you might find yourself being less, I heard impressed, but less interested in romance. Romantic love doesn't mean that you will no longer want it, but I do see you kind of focusing on other things, maybe more on yourself, or just focusing on romanticizing your life, right? On giving yourself romantic experience even without a romantic partner in the midst. The book and the vulnerable cards making me think of hobbies. So I do see you enjoying hobbies, but most importantly, I see you enjoying time with yourself, enjoying your life as is, and making your happiness a priority this month, with or without the presence of a romantic partner or romantic interest. You could also be satiating your desire for romance through reading romance novels, watching romance films, because I see that being enough for some of you guys. Like, if I need a little bit of romance in my life, I just play a rom-com and then I'm good. Interesting. That could be the case for some of you. But for those of you who are in a relationship or who are dating, who are seeing someone, if things have been hot and heavy between you and another, I feel like this month things are going to, again, as mentioned before, cool off a bit. It could be because now you reach a point in your connection or relationship where it's time to do more of the emotional work. It's time to open up, get to know each other, develop emotional intimacy, not just maybe physical intimacy, for example. If you want this relationship to develop, if you want this relationship to deepen. So I feel like with the Two of Cups and the Knight of Wands, this is kind of a reminder that if a connection isn't always hot and heavy, isn't always full of passion, that doesn't mean that there's something wrong with the connection, right? Because at times it could be like a raging fire, but at other times it could just be smoldering embers. And at other times it could be as still as a lake, right? Because at that time it's all about depth. It's all about submerging yourselves in the other's inner world, emotional world, or connecting on a deep emotional, maybe even spiritual level. Because in the Two of Cups, we have these two people like sort of submerged in water. So yeah, you could be experiencing a different phase in a connection or relationship this month. I do see, though, with the Two of Cups, I will say I'm getting a little confused by this because the Two of Cups is making me think of distance. So I wonder if this confusion might be due to a difference in interpretation. In other words, the experience might change depending on how you interpret it. So, for example, if two people were attached at the hip and then this month they're not, one person in this relationship could interpret that as, oh, the other person doesn't love me, or we're falling apart, we're growing distant, while another person in the relationship might just be saying, we're growing, this relationship is growing, we're at a different phase in our relationship, we're still very much connected, we're just not attached at the hip any longer. Like, we're comfortable with each other enough to be able to walk side by side with each other without fearing that we might lose sight of the other because we trust each other in that way. So yeah, I think it might depend on how it is interpreted. So if, for example, you're still communicating with someone, if you're still in contact with someone, right, you're still seeing them, you're still spending time with them, but things are a bit more relaxed between you both, right? Maybe there isn't that nervous butterfly-like feeling anymore. It could be because your relationship has developed, it has deepened. A part of you now feels safe with this person, comfortable with this person, or you both do. And that doesn't mean that the passion isn't there anymore. It just means that you've reached this new stage in your relationship. But if it is the case where like someone is no longer keeping in contact with you, they're disappearing for days, they're not getting back to you, or they're very distant, like they're giving you the cold shoulder, they're not affectionate at all with you, then that's something to look into and to bring up to the other, because someone growing cold on you, like absolutely cold, is not exactly what I'm picking up here, right? It's not the smoldering embers I was picking up throughout this reading. So if someone is giving you the cold shoulder, it's something to maybe bring up with this person and ask them why, because if that is the case, I do see that as a possibility of this person distancing themselves from you. Or if it's you who's giving a cold shoulder to somebody else who you were spending a lot of time with, and you don't know exactly why you're giving this person a cold shoulder, if this person hasn't done anything wrong, if you feel still very attracted to this person, if you still like this person, then that's something to ask yourself, like, why? Why am I distancing myself from this person? Is it because I really do not want to be with them? I do not like them anymore? Or is it because maybe I am running away from intimacy? It's because I realize that our relationship is deepening and I am afraid of that deepening. I am afraid of taking this relationship farther and delving into commitment or becoming vulnerable with another. So that's just something to look into and to consider. But again, for those of you who are single, I do feel like this month or at some point in the month of August, if you ever felt this desperation for romantic love, for someone else to be a part of your life, I feel that desperation is going to dwindle. It's going to fade away. Because again, I see you focusing more on you. And if you were in a situation where you were continuously obsessing about someone or your thoughts were all the time on somebody else, I feel like at some point in the month of August, you will find your mind focusing on other things that are not this person. Yeah, so this kind of makes me think of like going through the honeymoon phase and then kind of transitioning a little bit out of that, but that doesn't mean that there isn't love in the connection. There's still some love, but two people are not completely enraptured or wrapped up in each other. They're still very much into each other, but now they're focusing on their own things. So that's what I'm picking up here. Yeah, and if you, what the other thing I'm seeing is if you were very into romantic, like the romantic genre, this month you might steer into new genres. You might be interested in new genres. I also heard you might be moving the plot along. So again, if you are writers, you might be moving the plot along this month of your story. Or you might be delving into a new genre. A new vibe is also what I heard. What I thought of in specific was someone writing a romantic scene or someone who was like invested in the romance of a story for a long time. And then this month they're kind of moving now into the action. They're now moving into like other areas of their story that are not romance. I don't know if that applies to anybody or makes sense to anybody, but that's kind of the vibe I'm getting here. Yes, but now moving on to what to look forward to, we have the Six of Swords and the Five of Pentacles. The Six of Swords can often indicate transitions, which is interesting because I was talking about transitions at the start of the reading when interpreting the oracle cards. And what I'm seeing in specific is you transitioning out of a time of, I heard desolation, of hardship, struggle. It could be financial struggle, but also just struggle in general. The word fatigue came to mind. So if some of you were feeling fatigue, if you had trouble falling asleep, I feel like this month or at some point in the month of August, you will feel better rested or well rested, or you will be able to get better sleep. Yeah, that's especially what I'm sensing with the Sun card showing up in the reversal. Your dreams will also improve. So if you have been having a lot of nightmares, I feel like this month the nightmares will lessen or they will cease at some point. Also, I'm seeing things improving in the financial department. Yeah, so you might be seeing more profit this month, or you might be getting more work this month, which will allow you to make more profit or to earn money. I also see you getting more ideas. I feel like the Six of Pentacles and the Five of Pentacles is hinting at that. At some point, at one point, there was a lack of ideas. Someone was experiencing maybe some creative or mental blockages. And this month, they're kind of transitioning out of that. Because in the Five of Pentacles we have snow, indication of winter season. This also makes me think of moving from one season to another, or one weather to another. So again, if it's been very cold, if it's been very hot where you live, I feel like at some point in the month of August, the weather will change, become a little bit more pleasant. The Five of Pentacles also makes me think of a living situation. So if your living situation hasn't been that great, there might be an opportunity this month to move out, to move into a better living situation, or these two cards are hinting at that slowly your living situation is improving. Because I sense like a slow or gradual shift or change. So this is the month in which you will start to see slow and gradual improvements in a living situation, in your finances as well. Yeah, Five of Pentacles and the Six of Swords again makes me think of ending a chapter and starting a new chapter in your life. So this month is definitely a transitional month for you guys. I feel like this month you're still in the boat, like in the boat we see here in the Six of Swords card. You're still in the boat, you're still in the middle of the sea, moving from one place to another. But maybe by the month of September, you will have arrived at your new place, your new location. This could be literal for some because some of you might be moving, but for others, this could be more on a like energetical sense where you are stepping into a new chapter in your life. But this month, you're kind of still on the move. The energy is still shifting this month. But I do feel like within this month, you will start seeing changes. Slow, gradual changes, but changes for sure. The Five of Pentacles can also indicate loneliness. Yeah, so if you were feeling left out in the cold, if you were feeling abandoned, or if you were feeling lonely, I think that's going to change this month. So if you are in a relationship and you felt like you and your partner were growing distant, then, having a heart-to-heart with your significant other might actually bring closeness in your relationship, might actually help you see that, no, you're still very much connected, you're still very much in love, you're both still very much into each other and willing to deepen your connection with each other. Or that might help the other person in the connection relationship see that maybe their actions have been making you feel this way. And with that in mind, that is creating some change in their behavior, or maybe in your behavior if your partner or someone that you're dating or seeing expresses that they have been feeling lonely because of this or that. And that changes something in your relationship where that lonely feeling is no longer there. Or let's say if you are in a connection, in a dynamic where someone has been very cold and distant, and they haven't been treating you well, then this month you could be choosing to walk away from this person, from this dynamic. And if that ends up being the case, I see that creating some positive shift in your mood, in your life. It's like you move away from a very cold environment, because we do have winter here in the Five of Pentacles. And once you do, you meet the sun. Like you feel the sun, you feel the warmth. It's like you being in this space, you being in this dynamic where someone wasn't emotionally available and wasn't willing to be emotionally available, was just keeping you very cold and making you feel very desolate. But then once you decide to walk away from that, move away from that, if you find that this person who has been emotionally distant doesn't really want to open up to you, isn't willing to work things out with you, then that's when you start experiencing a little bit of warmth in your life. You regain the warmth that you feel like you were missing, because maybe it's this connection, this dynamic that was creating that cold feeling, that feeling of loneliness. But for others of you, for those of you who are single, this could be hinting at that if you were feeling lonely because there wasn't a romantic partner in your life, that is about to change this month of August, because maybe you're meeting someone, or you're finding the company that you're looking for in somebody else in yourself, or you're no longer associating loneliness with not having a romantic partner. Maybe for some, the mentality that not having romance in your life, not having a romantic partner in your life, immediately indicated that you became a lonely person, was what was causing a lot of feelings of loneliness in your life, and you kind of releasing that mindset or that mentality is what is helping you move out of that lonesome, lonely feeling or experience. Yeah, because this Six of Swords and Five of Pentacles is simply making me think of someone kind of reclaiming the sun, the warmth in their life. Like they're getting their sunshine back, they're getting their spark back, their inner spark maybe. I also feel like this duo here, this pair, could be indicating for some that within this month you may be traveling, or if you do end up moving, you could be moving to a location that has a different climate. Right, so maybe where you're living right now, it tends to be hot all the time. Where you're moving into, it's a bit more gloomy. Or it's a place where you do experience winter, like snow falling, snow, if where you currently live, you don't experience any of that. Or this month you could be traveling to somewhere where the weather is different, is the opposite of the weather where you are currently living. So let's say if where you currently live is very hot and what you want is to get away from the heat, where you might end up traveling to could be winter time there, or the other way around. So that's what I'm seeing for these two cards. Now I just want to draw out an oracle card to get any last messages, advice, and or guidance. So we have create space with Pisces and material, and the key phrase, a house without walls, and the message, when the walls start to close in, you need to find wide open spaces. Dissolve the boundaries. It may be that you need more space in your calendar or the freedom to let yourself wander. Ooh, create space made me think of like having space in a relationship. Yeah, so maybe some of you who are in a relationship or who are seeing someone romantically might be wanting a little bit more freedom, more space in the relationship to do your own thing. Or if you were afraid to claim that space, right, to claim some alone time, time for yourself, this month you might come to realize that there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with wanting a little alone time, wanting a little me time. That doesn't mean that you're taking for granted your relationship or you don't love your partner. It just means that you need a little space, some time to unwind. Like some of us do require alone time to regenerate, to replenish, and there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, and it's interesting how we have dissolved the boundaries, because I'm picking up on two different messages from that. One is like it's okay to have your boundaries and have boundaries within a relationship. There's nothing wrong with that. So maybe some of you need to hear that. But I feel like others of you, I think this month you're kind of learning to put any walls you build around yourself, maybe build around your heart, down. You're realizing that to have an intimate connection with someone does require some vulnerability, does require for you to put some of your walls down. Because if we keep all of our walls up while we're getting to know someone, we will only get to know someone on a surface level. And if what you're craving and wanting is intimacy, then vulnerability will be required. And vulnerability sometimes requires for us to put our walls down, to put our defenses down. So some of you could be doing that this month if you are hoping to or wanting to deepen your connection with another, build intimacy. Or someone might be needing to do that. Maybe someone is resisting doing just that, and that is what is creating some distance between two people, between them and another. So that's just something to keep in mind. I also see this situation for those of you who are single and who are wanting to experience romantic love, are wanting to be in a romantic relationship, that although you're very much still open to romance, you're open to it in a way where you're not solely focused on it, or you're open to it at any given moment, right? So you're living your life, you're having your experiences, in the knowing that it can happen at any moment, and whenever it happens, whenever someone comes along, it will be the perfect timing. And so there's no stress, there's no worry about needing to do this or needing to do that, behave in a certain way to make love happen for you, because you're coming to realize that you are a lovable person, that you are worthy of love, and that you will experience love, romantic love to be specific. And so it can happen at any moment, at any time. You don't really have to stress about it. You can live your life. You can continue doing you, being you, enjoying the things that you naturally enjoy. And when it's time, you and your person will meet. This create space card is also making me think of you having your own space, your safe space, your little nook. It also makes me think of you creating experiences for yourself, you romanticizing your life, you having your me time, and a space to unwind, a space to relax, a space to meditate or connect with yourself, be with yourself, etc. If you've been wanting your own office, your own cubicle, you're getting it this month. Okay, but anything else? I also see a garden. Someone having like a little garden or a little space where they could plant seeds or grow their little garden. Yes. But anything else I want to point out? Sunflowers could be of significance. The number 9, the month of September, books, literature. The sun symbolism, sun imagery. The sun is associated with the zodiac sign Leo, so we have Leo, Taurus, and Pisces, as well as Virgo with the number 9. And 4-leaf clovers could also be of significance, a good omen. You may be stumbling upon a 4-leaf clover this month. I'm also looking at or seeing candles in your spread. Candles could be of significance, candle magic. Maybe some of you own a candle shop or you make candles. You could be getting or purchasing a scented candle this month, or could be gifted one. Birds could be of significance. Bird songs, song, music. You could be singing a lot this month. Some of you may be singers, or you could be receiving compliments on your voice, your singing. One thing that is coming through, you're not settling for less this month. That is for sure. You're not settling for less. You're not begging this month. If someone or something isn't willing to give you what you deserve, you're not settling for what they aim to offer you. You're deciding to move on. You will no longer be living off of crumbs or scraps. Oh, that could be what this create space is also hinting at, that you're open to more, you're open to receiving more. You're not settling for bare minimum. If more can come in, then you're open to that. If better can come in, then you're open to that. Yes, but this is what is coming through for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought some guidance and clarity. By the way, the number 2 also showed up twice in your spread, so the number 2 could also be of significance. But yeah, these are all the messages coming through for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought some guidance and clarity. If it did, then please leave a like or a comment. And if you're new to the channel and you wish to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal readings. All the information is in my website. And the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. To all of you who took the time to watch the advertisements or just let them play in the background, thank you so much for that, since that is the simplest way to support me and to support this growing channel. So if you did, I truly do appreciate it. And before I sign off, I want to give a thanks to my spirit team and your spirit guides for assisting me with delivering these messages to you. Thank you so very much. And I'm wishing you and your loved ones a wonderful rest of your day or night, depending on when you are watching. And until the next moment, bye-bye.